Have your sports curiosity cured.
By Southern, down low to McKenzie, across for Miroslav Holinka at the blue line, time ticking away on the power play. There's McKenzie, one-timer, score! Don't it feel good? Ethan McKenzie is the hero, and Edmonton takes game 2 by a 4-3 score.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Get it in the blue zone, back for Saar, ahead, Boozer, that ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds, Mullins tosses it out. Ah! It's good! We're point 3! UConn goes in front!
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
At the other end, a bit of a change-up and an easy save. Made on Connor Ingram. That little spin on it. Here's Hyman. Roslovic scores. Roslovic's 20. Edmonton extends to a 2-0 lead.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Sol 636, Tuesday, March the 31st. Another day, and we got April right here. And then, hey, the weather finally starts to turn here in a couple of days because it's just been miserable for the last couple of months, a couple of weeks of March. Even go back a couple of months, too. Yeah, it just hasn't been the greatest of weather here lately, but we're finally turning the corner once April turns the page as well. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial on your morning drive into work or wherever you're heading out on a Tuesday morning. So glad you could spend some time with us here on Sports 1440. You can also watch us on YouTube, Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, even Twitch. As always, we're streaming on the many services that are out there on iHeart, the TuneIn app, even sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of the show, you can find it where all the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, even Amazon. Please subscribe. It's free. Select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of any show. Yes, a hearty good morning to you on a Tuesday. It's game day for the Oilers. Get your text in 833-401-1440. Got some rolling in already. We'll get to those momentarily. Oilers taking on the Seattle Kraken tonight, the 4th meeting of the year for these two teams. The Oilers have 2 wins and a loss so far, and it's a big game tonight after, the results that came down yesterday with Anaheim picking up a point against the Leafs and Vegas coming back to beat Vancouver 4-2. So, things are tightening up even more so in the Pacific Division, and that's just the way it's going to be down the stretch. So the 2 points that the Vegas Golden Knights get last night, it pulls them to 82. That's one back of the Oilers. That 1 point that Anaheim picks up against the Leafs gives the Ducks 87. So they have 4 more than the Oilers. The Oilers do have a game in hand on Vegas. We got a busy night going today, but as far as last night, I mean, all eyes were on Toronto and Anaheim after what happened earlier this season, a few weeks ago, with Radko Gudas getting the knee out on Austin Matthews, ending his season, surgery, 5 games for Gudas. And this was after just before game time, where they announced that they fired the GM Brad Treliving. Like, try to make some sense of it in Toronto. So you let this guy run the show for the trade deadline a few weeks ago. Now he's gone. Like, what sense does it make? Max Domi went at it with Gudas, who didn't really engage, did he? Like, right off the hop. So this is it's a staged fight. 1 second after puck drop, and they get at it. And it was almost like Gudas was going, okay, listen, I'm going to take a few lumps here. You guys, you go ahead and Max Domi, get a few in, and let's just end it there. But it really didn't end there because several other Leafs, Pizzetta and some other guys went after Gudas to try to get him to engage again. It didn't happen. But for the most part, I think Gudas was going, all right, let's just get this over with. I'm probably not at 100% to play because he's been battling a bit of an injury. And then, like Max Domi got 3-4 good licks in. They go to the ice, and Domi tried to get a couple more in. Gudas thought that by that point it was going to be over, but not really. As I mentioned, they went after him a little bit more, and the Leafs win it in overtime. John Tavares scores with just a few ticks on the clock remaining in overtime, so that gives Toronto the win, and it gives the Anaheim Ducks a point. It was John Tortorella's first game, obviously, behind the bench for the Vegas Golden Knights. They come back to beat Vancouver, and Vander Kane's 1,000th game, and it was good. He hit the score sheet, so that was kind of cool to see. But Torts, this is the bump. That's the coaching bump that people think that they're going to get here. And it's looking more and more with 8 games to go for Vegas. 7 games to go for Vegas and 8 games to go for the Oilers, that these two teams could be on a collision course for a first-round potential matchup. Elsewhere in the NHL last night, Pittsburgh beat the Islanders 8-3. This was a big game because of the standings, how they shape up in the Met. And these two teams are jockeying back and forth. Now Pittsburgh at 90 points, the Islanders at 89 in holes 2 and 3. Now, sometimes you hear stuff after a game. Now, Stu Skinner said something to the effect of Anthony Mantha. If he were, on the Oilers team in the playoffs, about half of an Anthony Mantha, I'd have 2 Stanley Cup rings. It's almost like that's fake news because I just don't understand how or why he would come about saying that. But the more things came over the course of the night, the more it was like, yeah, Stu said it. And I'm like, doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, also in the sporting world last night, it's funny how things work in baseball because the Jays, they have some close games with the Athletics and they pick up a series sweep. Now you got a team coming into your barn that is, it was the worst team in Major League Baseball last year, lost well over 100 games in the Colorado Rockies. And they came in and absolutely pasted Toronto 14-5. It went all downhill when Cody Ponce, first of all, he slipped coming off the mound, and maybe it had something to do with when he was playing the grounder going to first, and he tweaked his knee. So they'll have some testing done, and we'll see where he's at with that. But that's another big blow. I mean, this pitching staff is just being held together by a patchwork, just stitches, because the amount of guys that they have out, and Yasevich and Bieber, and now Ponce and Barrios. I mean, they have so many guys that are on the shelf here. It's going to be a tough go to and you saw it last night. They couldn't afford to go to the bullpen because, Ponce left early. They go to the bullpen and guys are getting lit up there. Brendan Little, most notably, but he didn't have a lot of help defensively. Ernie Clement made a big error prior to that and could have got out of the inning. Little comes in, and then they give up a whole whack. Some lucky hits, too. The one down the right field line just in front of Barger, that's a lucky hit. So 14-5, though, 2 teams will do it again today. Hey, and hats off to Mike Soroka, Alberta product, pitched a gem, 5 innings, had an immaculate inning for the Arizona Diamondbacks in their win. So hopefully Soroka can get back on track because he's had so many injuries too. Text 833-401-1440. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne at 7:09 in the morning. Good morning, Duke. You had the final game last night, Duke. You didn't want it to be the final game. Well, what happened to the Tropicana Orangemen?
Hey, played a tight game. Not very often you see beer league contests go 1-1 through 3 periods, and I guess we were out of. It's beer league. If the referees deem you're 2 up against the clock, then you skip overtime and just go straight to a shootout, which is what we did. A little disappointing, but we lost there. So we've fallen 3 games in the opening round of the CCRHL playoffs and an early exit for the Tropics. I would basically equate it to if the Dallas Stars lost in the first round this year, because that's kind of what has happened to us. We've been to the conference finals, if you want to call it that.
You're comparing the Tropicana Orangemen to the Dallas Stars?
Very much so,
yes,
Kevin.
I can just imagine the quality of play.
Back-to-back losses in the conference finals, and maybe our best year of the past 3 regular season-wise is what we have just enjoyed. Some new additions to the roster. We're looking like a rejuvenated club, but just came up short. Shout out our goalie, Matt. He was excellent last night. I mean, hey, like I said, barely gave up 1 goal, and then he only gave up 1 in the shootout. We could not score. So credit to the Admirals, the team that beat us. Best of luck to them the rest of the way. And I'll be very frank with you, Kevin. I'm not that sad.
Well, you've had a tough month, dude.
It's been a tough month, but I played a lot of hockey this winter, easily the most that I have in probably past 10 years or so, between going to the skates with Walker, playing goalie at least once a week, subbing in for some other guys' teams here and there. So I'm pretty good on the playing hockey front. Now I'm looking forward to not really having any interruptions on a night-to-night basis in terms of sitting on my couch and watching as much NHL as I can down the final stretch of the season here, and then of course the playoffs. And I'm just ready for golf. I want to get on the links. Obviously, we're still a little bit ways away from that, but yeah, it's good year for the Trops.
What time was your game? What did you get to watch on TV for sports?
I watched the start of the Blue Jays game, and it was obviously already well out of hand by the time I left. The game was at 8:15 down in Terwilliger, so I did not get to catch much of the Ducks game. I watched the condensed version of it, 15 minutes or so that the NHL website does when I got home. I got home pretty late. It was our last game, so we stuck around and, shot the you-know-what for a little bit longer in the dressing room, and then eventually migrated to the parking lot, where you would think on March 30th, you could enjoy a pleasant evening in the parking lot at 11 o'clock at night. Well, we were only out there for a few minutes before the boys are all shivering, and all right, see you guys next year.
So, hey, I just got a text from my buddy Hupka, and he's saying that the Skinner quote is 100% false. Now,
okay.
Did you see it?
This never came across my thing, I'll be honest with you, Kev. I never saw it.
I don't know. You get... So if you go on X or Twix or whatever, so there's some things that come up on the side page for me. And it just says Oilers goalie Stu Skinner praises Pittsburgh Penguins forward Anthony Mantha. And the line is saying that if the Oilers had a player half as good as Mantha during their two straight Stanley Cup final runs, he'd have 2 rings. Stu, I can't see him saying that.
Well, yeah, it's surprising for sure.
So I don't know. Again, my buddy Hopka just texted and said it's a bunch of crap. So I don't know. And that doesn't come across as like a Stu line, does it? He's pretty careful with his words. So I don't know. I haven't read any with the Kingerski. He would have it because
the only place I'm seeing the quote from is this account called Penguins Jesus.
That's what which
has it's got a lot of followers, 52,000, but I'm not sure exactly if this is an accredited journalist.
I don't see it happening either, but text 833-401-1440. Stara Farmer says, good morning all. The Oilers have to keep the solid play going with Vegas right behind them for sure. Home ice, you'd want home ice in the first round. The Oilers have an opportunity to win 4 games in a row, which is crazy. As mentioned, they've won 6 straight at home against Seattle. So, but they're a sneaky good team. They have some beef on the back end with some guys that are a little bit bigger. Their goaltending's been more than adequate this year. Joey DeCourt's having a decent year. They have some guys up front that are able to generate a little bit of offense, but that's probably been their downfall this year is they haven't been able to score enough when they need to score. Jordan Eberle's having a pretty darn good year by, a standard for a 35-year-old player. I think they're still wanting more from Matty Beniers, but we're going to discuss a lot of that with JT Brown, Seattle Kraken analyst, when we come back. Hey, so Cutter Gauthier left the game too last night, Duke. That's not good for your Ducks. And Leo Carlson left for a bit too, but he came back, right?
He came back, hit a couple goals in the game. Troy Terry and an assist that moved him up the franchise all-time assist rankings. And, it was an interesting game, and I just kind of I don't know if laugh at it's the right word, and I get it'll come across a little biased because I do have some attachment to the Ducks team, but I just thought it was like we knew the Leafs were going to have to do something, but I thought at a certain point it was kind of like, all right, enough. Like,
well, Pinzetta gets tossed.
It was if you as a team had not embarrassed yourselves by not having any reaction in real time, then this wouldn't be necessary. So now you're just like it's an overcompensation with how it went. But I'll be very frank. Like I haven't been shy about my criticisms of Radko Gudas as a player, but I give him a lot of credit despite being banged up and hurt. Essentially saying, no, I want to play tonight to answer this bell. And as you said, Kevin, essentially just eating some from Domi to start to take his licks and thinking that might be enough, but not so much in the eyes of the Leafs players. And fair enough. And then even like at TV timeouts, or I think is when it was like Stolar's like running into Husso when they're crossing at center ice and. Like, okay, we get it, Maple Leafs. You guys you're really tough, and you didn't answer the bell last time, and your GM got fired. It's a bit of a weird situation in Toronto right now, for sure.
Real Duke texts in, good morning, KK, BD. Shout out to the old faithful scribe, Danny Barnes, who's retired. We got an email. Got to sign a kind of it's from Teresa, Barney's partner. Real Duke says he's covered lots of sports, etc. Best wishes, Barnesy. Always had fun with Dan Barnes, wherever it was. And we'll get him on the show here, I think, in the next couple of days. I'll reach out to him and we'll get him on maybe we'll get him on Thursday. I'll text him here right away. But he was always lots of laughs, lots of fun. You know, those guys, they went pretty hard. It's funny because way back in the day, Barney and Terry Jones would kind of run a little bit. I mean, Terry Jones, like it was kind of funny. You see the two of these guys sitting at a bar and having a couple of pops, and Jonesy could put him back pretty good, and Barnesy's trying to keep up. It was lots of fun. We'll reach out to Barnesy. Good text from the Real Duke there as well. Coming up on the big program, as we mentioned, JT Brown, Seattle Kraken analyst, will check in right after the break. We've got Mark Specter, Frank Seravalli, our double-barrel shotgun hockey insiders at 8 o'clock and 8:20. Laurianne Munzer to follow at 8:40. Hey, then a special guest in studio, Lwal Ugwok, Montreal Alouettes defensive lineman. He's got some camps going on starting this weekend. So Lwal's going to check in studio. He's been here before. He's so well-spoken. And this is one of the top Canadian defensive linemen in the CFL. And, he played his high school ball at Harry Ainley. So we'll have a good conversation, I'm sure, with Lwal once again. Hey, Cam Tate, Cam and Eggs around 10 bells, episode number 2. Then Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show coming up at 10:20. When we come back, JT Brown, Seattle Kraken analyst on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We are streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhauk beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Wilhockey game day with Wilhauk beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists. The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries. Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident. More than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa know-how.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:21 in Edmonton. Time now for the game of the day, brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the clear-out remains on a couple of 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. Just a few left on the lot. It's our best seller. We've got a great selection as well. 59.9 gets you in. Expecting them to go fairly quickly here in the next bit. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com as we welcome back JT Brown, Seattle Kraken analyst. Good morning, JT. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for having me.
Man, we got a good one tonight here, JT. Seattle still hanging in there. The Kraken, just below the cut line here in the wild card standings. And, they got some games in hand here, too, as well. So they're using them up right now, JT, as you know. Just what is it about this team that has been, I guess, resilient to just be hanging in here down the stretch?
Yeah, I think you said it right there. It's about how they continue to play their game, no matter what the score. I mean, you going back to some of the last games, even down in games, they keep pressing. Just playing their style of hockey and getting back to that. It was a tough stretch right out of the break, but it feels like the last maybe 3 or 4 games starting to get back to how they were playing prior to the break, and bringing themselves back closer to that cut line.
Yeah. So, who are some of the guys that have been kind of carrying the mail for him here in the last week or two?
I think the biggest and easiest one would be Bobby McMahon. Since coming over from Toronto, playing in those 8 games, he's got 11 points in 8 games for Seattle. So he's been finding the back of the net. I think it's 7 goals, in that span. So he's been a huge contributor. But I also think you have to look at the back end when you look at Dunn, you look at Montour. That's the way the Kraken find the most offenses, when their defense are jumping up in the play, getting involved as well, and just having that balanced attack. So McMahon has been exactly what the Kraken have wanted, but I like the back end as well.
Yeah, Bobby McMahon, we've been talking about him for a number of years here, JT, because he played his junior just north town here in Bonnyville, and how just sort of not came out of nowhere, but he was a guy that played in Toronto that had he was a 20-goal guy for a cheap contract. Is there a chance that he could re-sign in Seattle, or would he just go to test free agency and see what he could do there?
I mean, I think Seattle hopes that they can re-sign him, right? Obviously, you make the trade, you see what he can do, and he's fit in quite well, especially with that top line and playing with Matty and Ebbs as well. So I would say you'd want to. Obviously, it's up to him. He can test as a player, you would say, hey, see what you can get. But at the same time, I think from the Kraken side, obviously, you would love to keep him. Obviously, depends what that number is. He's fine in the back of the net. And, that's one thing Seattle has struggled, at times, is just getting those goals and where are they coming from.
What's his role on the power play, JT? How does he flip around from up top and then kind of slide down? What's his role been there?
Yeah, he's been in the middle. Obviously, one of the best things you see is, using his speed and, getting that first, whether it's a dump puck or a chip puck, using that speed on the forecheck to regain possession. But he's got size, so he's in front of the net. You can take away the ice, but also, being in that bumper slot, has an option as well. Yeah.
JT Brown with us on the Kevin Karius Show, Seattle Kraken analyst. I think we've told you over the years that, Grant Fures started the show with us here in the morning as one of our co-hosts, and he knows so many of the players in the organization, most notably Joey Decord. He was talking about Joey Decord before, he even kind of got to Seattle.
Yeah.
How's he been between the pipes, JT?
He's had a good year. I think as a team, everyone struggled a little bit out of break. That's top to bottom. So I think you can see that. But I think when you look at Joey, he brings a different element. Whether that's him stopping the puck, going back, being able to play it. He's very confident. When he has the puck on his stick and the trapezoid behind the net. So I think using that as an extra defenseman, an extra player out on the ice really helps with the breakouts. But he's capable of making that big time save as well. He reads the play side to side, laterally. He's got great movement. So he's been excellent for the Kraken. Obviously, I think as a team, they're just trying to find their game again. The last couple of games, Grubauer's been in net, has played well, has played good as well. So I think, that tandem's been doing good.
Yeah, what's the split been like between the two of them, Grubauer and Decord here, JT?
Grubauer played I think he played the last two, but for the most part, it's been Joey out of break trying to get Joey going. Grubauer did play the last two. Seeing they got the points in through the last three games as well. So I think for me, you look at it right now, the Kraken are just in a spot where they have to play who's going, right? You're looking at the cut line, how many games are left, who gives you the best opportunity. And, right now, for the most part, closer to 50-50. But, as the season's progressed, I think it's Joey obviously has a little more. But, I think when you look at the games remaining, there's no split anymore. It's just who can go.
Yeah. Seattle Kraken analyst JT Brown with us on the Kevin Carey Show here on Sports 1440. Jordan Eberle leading the team in scoring, 35 years old. Man, he's been around. He's, 1,100 games here. What's impressed you about Ebbs' play this year?
Obviously, it's awesome to see him finding the back of the net and producing the way that he is. But obviously, the leadership qualities that he can bring, both on the ice and in the locker room as well. And I think it's pretty crazy, and obviously a lot of work on his part to come back from injury and to be able to do what he's been doing this year. Just the consistency that he plays with, but that comes with being around the league for that long. You know exactly what it takes to get ready and how you're supposed to prep and play for each game.
Yeah, who's he been playing with for the most part this year, JT?
Matty Pierce has been in the center position with him. At times you'd have McCann. McMahon's played up there as well. But for the most part, those two, when you look at Beniers at the center ice position and then Eberle on the right-hand side, has been a staple.
Mm-hmm. What is it about Eberle in the sense that, he signed the 2-year extension? He loves it out there. I've heard so many mutual friends say that he just it's a perfect fit. The city, the organization, everything for him. What is it about that meshing, that bonding between, player and city and organization that's worked out so well?
Seattle it's a great city. Being able to be out in the community and do the things that, himself and his teammates do. I think that just ingrains you into the city for the starts. But I think as well, when you start to, obviously with family, you want to find something that fits. And apparently, obviously, you said it's fitting quite well, and Seattle's happy to have him. But I think from the playing standpoint, we see night in, night out what he can bring to the team, and you want to keep your captain on for 2 more years.
Yeah, he's going to get to 25 goals here for sure. Maybe he's got an outside shot at 30. Never know. That's pushing up to where his career highs are for a guy that's been around the game a long, long time. JT Brown with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Another former Oiler, Adam Larson, played his 1,000th career NHL game. What's he meant to this franchise?
He's the staple. He's been there. He's missed one game in Kraken history, and that was to witness the birth of his daughter. So when you look at who's playing, it's him, right? So, and the consistency he plays with, he gives him his everything at every single time, whether it's laying down, blocking shots, plays physical. Obviously, him and Dunn have played pretty much every shift together for the Kraken. So I think, when you look at it, penalty killing, he does literally everything for the team, and, maybe one of the quiet leaders, but definitely a big leader when you look at how he plays every single day. And that's the type of player you want to show young defensemen. Hey, This is how you play the game. This is how you want to approach the game, and copy what he does.
Yeah, the Oilers franchise and organization sure misses him. There's no question about that. What have you seen in Riker Evans, JT, in the sense of his growth as a young defenseman here?
One of his best qualities is his skating ability. He really does move fluently out on the ice, the vision, and he has the ability to play physical, be hard on especially the forwards down below the goal line. But then there's also still the offensive side, right? He has the skating ability, he has poise and patience, and a tougher spot for him just based on where the pairings go. Maybe getting more of the third line or third pairing, time on ice and slots, less the power play. But he has shown, through his time in Seattle when injuries have happened, that he can step in and play a more offensive game as well. So I like the fact that he has multiple assets when it comes to, whether it's being physical, whether it's throwing some of the offensive side, but at the same time, I think the biggest thing for him is how well he can skate.
A player that's sort of kind of polarizing since he was drafted and came to the organization, and I think it's fair to say that about Shane Wright. Is he just still continuing to find his way here, JT? And what have you seen from him?
Yeah, there's definitely still been a lot of growth from his game and, working on the defensive side of the game, especially, having Lane Lambert come in this year, wanting to work on that with him. That side's getting better. He still has an excellent shot reading plays, when he's at his best, and we've seen it, through stretches that this year it looks to me like he's not thinking the game, right? Like when he gets the puck, he already knows what he's going to do with it, finding that confidence. And, that just comes with time, right? Playing more games, working on the face-offs, getting, stronger in that aspect. But coming from the game sense side, when you see him reading the plays quicker and faster, shooting the puck more, being more direct, that's when Shane's at his best.
What have you made of Lane Lambert, in his first year as a head coach here? Had a little bit of a head coaching experience with the Islanders, obviously. But what have you seen from him, how, he had that little lull at the beginning part of the season and was able to kind of rebound and get the guys back to the style of play that I think he wanted to see them, which was a little, tighter defensively and maybe no run and gun. But what do you make of his first season as the head coach of the Kraken?
I think he's been good. I think he's been good for the Kraken. He's very direct and open about how he wants the team to play. And I think, as a player looking back, like that's what you want. You want a coach to give you your role, right? Know exactly how you're supposed to play each and every night, and there's no excuses, right? So I think when he has that mindset and that mentality, obviously wanting to focus more on the defensive side, but then that defense leads to the offensive chances. They're just not going to cheat to go get the offense. So for me, I've enjoyed seeing him and seeing how he's had the Kraken play, and obviously, hopefully the rest of the year goes, and it keeps trending the way it's been the last couple of games, and they can get themselves into a playoff spot. But, going from last year to this year, putting them, this is where you want to be. You want to be playing meaningful games at this time of the year.
Did he change the style, structure, maybe some system play after they had that little lull earlier in the year here, JT?
I think it was just more of getting guys to, I guess it's hard, right? When you go into from one system to the next and then trying to figure it and make it become second nature. There have been a couple switches or a switch in the penalty killing, which has been better as of late, but obviously it's hard to change some of those beginning numbers, the first 20 or 30 games just structurally wise. But I think more of the beginning is just getting everybody on the same page and making sure that, the reads and the communication had become second nature. Once the Kraken got that, then you started to see them gel and starting to play, more of his style of hockey.
What kind of game do you think we'll see tonight? The Oilers are starting to come around. They're playing a little bit better defensively, and they've won 3 in a row here, and they've got an opportunity to make it another one here.
I think the games versus Edmonton are always exciting, especially in that building as well. It'll be a fun one. It'll be a loud game, but I think for the Kraken, it's about the first 20 minutes. They've struggled in the beginning portions of games, and because of their determination and that they don't quit in games, they bring themselves back, right? But against a team, like Edmonton, you have a lot of firepower. Obviously, still missing Draisaitl, and you still have McDavid, right? So at any point in time, you don't want to get down to a team with McDavid on your team, and just try to play from ahead, play a disciplined game, and if they can do that, they can find success. But there's still a lot of success on the other side when you look at what Edmonton has.
So what is it about the slow starts for the Kraken? Just coming out of the gates with first period where they are behind the 8 ball. What do you see for the start of the games here with this team?
I think sometimes it's a little bit of figuring out what type of game it's going to be versus dictating the terms. And I know they're trying, and they obviously focus on the beginning portions of games. And sometimes it's just bad luck, right? Sometimes you have a bad bounce that doesn't go your way, and all of a sudden you're behind, and then here that process starts over again. But I think when the Kraken are playing, they're getting in on the forecheck right away, not trying to make too many plays, and just letting the game, whether it's taking a hit, giving out a big hit, just getting themselves into the game quickly. I think that definitely helps them. But I think sometimes it's more of a feeling out process, and sometimes it's hard to turn that light switch back on until it's already 1 or 2 down.
Hey, what did you make of what happened in Vegas with the coaching change?
Yeah, it was obviously seeing everything on I guess X and Twitter when everything unfolded. You don't see that too often with only 8 games remaining, but see they played well last night. So interesting, obviously being in the Pacific Division and the way things have gone, and obviously Vegas had a tough. They've had a tough stretch too after the break as well. So they had to make a change, and I think for the rest of the division, I mean it's still wide open. There's plenty of spaces and slots that can be moved around, and obviously Vegas thought that they needed to make a change here with the few games remaining so that they could get themselves right for the playoffs.
How wide open do you think this Pacific Division is here?
I mean, you're either a streak one way, whether it's winning or, losing a few games in a row from changing, your positions too well. Any game, any night, everybody can win, everybody could lose. And, obviously there's not that many points separating, the probably second, third, and then all the way down. You got San Jose now tied after their win last night with Seattle. So, I mean, it's pretty tight. Winnipeg's only 1 point behind. So I think at any point, anybody can make a move. It just takes a couple of games and put a little run together.
Yeah. Hey, JT, great stuff as always. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll see you down at the rink. Take care, man.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
JT Brown, Seattle Kraken analyst, and our game of the day. And it is the Oilers and Kraken tonight. 7 o'clock puck drop at Rogers Place. And the game of the day is brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages are here. You can get behind the wheel for under $50,000. Check them out at stalbertdodge.com. Yeah, I mean, the Kraken are a sneaky team. I mean, Matty Beniers is another guy that you think when you've got, he had such a great rookie season, winning the Calder. But I think he would say, and the Kraken would say, that his offensive capabilities and offensive prowess maybe dropped off a little bit here in the last year or so. 45 points. So he's a guy that they'll need more from down the road. This is the guy that they're building the team around, or one of them. Obviously they thought that Shane Wright was going to be a guy in that position, and they think that Riker Evans is going to be. They think their goaltending is solid with Joey Decord. They've locked him up for extended period of time. So they believe they have the pieces here, and they're back in. Again, it's solid. When you got Dunn and Larson have been playing together for a long, long time, as JT said. They are together. Maybe they've played almost every shift together since Larson and Dunn have arrived there. Oleksiak is a big, big defenseman. He can eat up some minutes. He's not exactly fleet of foot, but he's a big, big guy. And again, when you look at the other guys that they have on the back end, Brandon Montour is another one that they think that they're building around, even though he's a little bit of an older guy, being into his 30s already. But we'll see what happens tonight down at Rogers Place. Oilers can't take these guys lightly. They got to just go out and really, really put the pedal to the metal early on. And you heard JT talk about slower starts. Get up a goal and get the next goal. Go after these guys. Don't wait on these guys to take any part of the game to you. It'll be up to the Oilers tonight to initiate, engage, and press on the gas. When we come back, maybe we'll hear some Oilers sound from yesterday on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, presented by Sports Select.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Business owners, if rising electricity costs are cutting into your profits, there's a smarter way forward. Right now, federal clean technology tax credits can cover 30 to over 50% of the cost of a commercial solar system, delivering an immediate return on your investment. And in Edmonton and Sturgeon County, the Commercial Clean Energy Improvement Program offers long-term financing for up to 20 years, making solar more affordable than ever. Lock in lower energy costs for decades and strengthen your bottom line. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com to get started.
Wondering what you can afford? Let Go Auto do the math with our free car loan calculator. No pressure, no awkward convos, just quick answers on your budget and payments. Bad credit, no credit? We got you. Text CHECK to 780-777-7777. That's CHECK to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers the Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
That's 2 minutes for teeth chattering. Freezing on the sidelines again? The Kuma heated chair is a must-have for sports parents who want to cheer in total comfort. From chilly spring mornings to frosty fall evenings, you can finally be warm and comfortable for every game of the season. Shop Kuma Outdoor Gear online and choose from 4 unique models, including one you both can curl up in. Get yours today at KumaOutdoorGear.com.
Sports 1440.
All sports,
all day.
On YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Thanks for listening to Edmonton's sports leader.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:44 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440 AM radio. Kevin Karius show is presented by Sports Select. It's so easy to play. Just check out the website, sportselect.com. Generate a QR code. There's videos to help you along. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Duke, did you know the Oilers had their team photo yesterday?
I did not.
Yeah.
You know the number for it? You try and sneak in side, just right on the end.
Do you know? I can't remember the dude's name. But when I was on the ice I was on the bench and then on the ice for the 2003 Heritage Classic. There was a guy. He's a comedian. He's from, I think that this hour has 22 minutes.
Rick Mercer.
No. I can't remember the guy's name. He snuck in for the picture. So they had all the, obviously all the old timers or whatever, the legends. So you had 40 guys and then the training staff and everyone. So you had a nice real picture. And then this donkey slides in there and kneels down. And I don't know if no one noticed him or what, but they had to airbrush him out after.
Oh, really? They did?
Yeah. No, he's not. He was never going in this picture ever. I forget the guy's name, but that's 23 years ago. You know the number one rule, Duke, when you're taking the team picture?
No smiling.
No, you smile.
Oh.
No skating on the logo. You want to have that logo nice and crisp and clear.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so when you come in, you don't spray, don't just put the brakes on right before you sit down in those chairs in the front. The other thing too with the team picture is they bring the staff out. Now that's even because the support staff, we're talking all the Oilers employees, and they bring them out and they have them mingled in with all of the players. So you have a staff picture of about probably 200 people, something like that, because it's that many. You could check it out on the website. They have at the very end, the amount of people there. It's just crazy. And the players, they walk out, the women, they give them a hand on the ice. So it's kind of neat, kind of cool. Now, Connor Ingram right now, Duke, he's at a goals against average of 2.80, save percentage of .893. He's got 13 wins. I would imagine that he's going to start tonight. That's how it looked like yesterday at practice. Christian Jarry could get the game Thursday against the Chicago Blackhawks. And then, you're probably going back to Connor Ingram for Saturday night. So we'll see exactly what shakes down, but that would probably be the route that they go. Anyway, yesterday, Connor Ingram talked to some members of the media, and here are those comments.
I want to talk about the team's form right now. 3 straight wins. It looks like you guys are finding your game on both sides of the puck. As a goaltender, especially on the defensive side of the puck, what kind of strides have you seen in the last couple of weeks?
I think it's just the commitment to it. Coming back from the Olympic break, we made a point of it, and I think that right now it's just we're doing it, and it's been really good, and it's making our job a lot easier.
They say that when a team is playing with structure, it's easier to be a goalie. How does that work? You know where the shots are coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they always say save percentage is a team stat, right? Yeah. So I think that's exactly what it is the easier it is for us. I mean, when we're playing the way that we are, it's easier to know where it's coming from. It's not coming from as dangerous spots. I mean, like I said before, I think it's been really good not even the last 3 games, since the Olympic break. It's been a focus, and I thought it's been really good.
How much has Connor Murphy helped in that regard, bringing him in, defensive guy? He's obviously really good defensive.
Yeah, he's been awesome. I mean, he blocks a lot of shots too, so a lot of stuff doesn't even make it to us. But, I thought he's been really good on the PK, and like you said, just defensively, he's been awesome. I mean, he scored a goal for us too, so we'll take that side of it.
A lot of goalies say, let me see the shot. And the flip side is if you're a goalie, block as many as you want to. Is it a fine line between trying to block every shot and then I can't see the shot if it gets by you? Or how do you
I don't know. I think the days of not blocking shots are gone. I think that's a style of hockey we won't see anymore. So, I mean, that's half of our job is just working hard to find lanes and find sight lines. That's most of what I do. So no, even like we've had some bad bounces here in the last month or so of it going off our guys and things like that. But that's just trying to do the right thing. And sometimes it's going to go your way and sometimes it's not. 90% of those will block. 5% of them will go be deflections. The other 5% will end up in your net. I mean, I'll take those odds.
You've been here for a while now. What do you sort of think it'll be like walking out of that tunnel in playoff city, with 18-5 in here, going crazy the way they do in the spring? How do you greet that?
I have no idea. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Right now, what do we got? 8-9 games left. So that's where I'm focused right now. I mean, this year's taught me to not look too far in the future. So I'm going to take it one day at a time. And maybe when we get closer to that, I'll have an answer for you.
The way things started for you this year, I mean, you didn't get an invite to training camp in Utah.
Yeah.
You end up here, you end up in Baco, you end up coming up. Now you're the number one. Could you have believed that it would go this way?
Would you have believed it if I told you it? Yeah. I don't know. Like I've always said, my job doesn't change no matter what league you're in, wherever you're playing. I'm going to put my skates on the same way and just try and go and do my job. Hockey's never been easy, so it's something that you've had to work at my whole life, and I think that was the whole goal, is just put your head down and go to work. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen either way.
Did you I think I know the answer, but anyway, did you ever doubt that this was a possibility in your life?
I don't think I ever doubted it, but there was days where it seemed like a distant future or a long ways away. It's hard in this business. You don't really know what's going to happen. I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. So it's been a big learning curve this year of just keeping your eyes open and, just being as ready as you can for whenever that opportunity does come.
You get a scar out of that, or is that just going to go away?
I got this little one. That's about it. This one's from my brother throwing me in a fireplace when I was little, but
I want him into a fireplace when he was little. Well, I think he's three other brothers, I think, something like that. So yeah, I would imagine there would have been some a little wrestling. Hey, Duke, just like your sisters when they pounded you when you were younger.
Very similar, I'm sure, for him and having brothers and my sisters who were pretty violent. They didn't hold back.
No. Hey, thanks to all our great texters and listeners. Sean Majumder was the Canadian comedian, I guess. I don't know I haven't seen the guy around too much lately, but he would have been the guy that snuck into the picture in 2003 on the ice with the hockey legends. Now I'm trying to think if, because I was on the Montreal Canadiens bench, Gene Principe was on the Oilers bench, and we were kind of standing by the boards. I think back then Bill Tuelli came out, because he was Bill ran the Oilers comms department for many, many, many years. The press box is named the Bill Tuelli press box here at Rogers now. Anyway, he came in and was at the side, I think, to get into the picture as well. And Bill actually, it was a year prior. He was, part of the 2002 Olympic team in Salt Lake City. So he always kind of stayed on the side, I think. So anyway, when this Majumder guy slid in there, I don't know how anyone didn't see him. And then he just kind of skated off and no one really said anything. And then they airbrushed him out after. Text 833-401-1440. John texts in, Big John, tough night for your fantasy team. Just wanted to get that in there while I can. I see you're pretty stacked. Hopefully Cantillo has an amazing year. He's got a signed rookie card of his. How long until the Blue Jays get rid of Brandon Little? He's terrible under pressure. Wow. Well, again, they never had help last night defensively. And that one hit that kept the inning going just down the right field line, and it was bases loaded pop-up by Willie Castro, and it just landed, 4 feet in front of Addison Barger. I think those are just tough ones. But you're right, John. He doesn't look like he did, the tail end of last year. He was bad. He was good at the start of the year. I think what happened with Brandon Little is that batter started to lay off that cutter. and they started to lay off because it was a ball 9 times out of 10. So he ended up having to take too much of the zone, too much of the strike zone, and then he's getting hit. And they were laying off, and so he would either walk guys or he'd get into unfavorable counts. And I think that's where it started to go wrong with Little at the tail end of last year, and then, into this year. So, it's not like they were, he gave up the grand slam, to Langoliers on the weekend, but the hits that he gave up yesterday were softer hits. How's that sound? The other thing too is if he's a right-handed pitcher, he's probably not at the big league level because there's such a premium for lefties. Thanks for the text, John. Coming up at the top of the hour, Mark Specter from Rogers Sportsnet. We got Frank Seravalli to follow, and then Laurianne Munzer in studio in the 9 o'clock hour, Lwal Ugwok. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Fusion Promo Marketing. Expand your brand, high-quality promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Get noticed at fusionpromomarketing.ca. Hey, that's Fusion with a Z. Here is the Duke.
1440 update.
Five games in the NHL last night. The Penguins beat the Islanders 8-3. Avalanche put 49 pucks on net. 9 of them passed the goaltenders. They beat the Flames 9-2. Golden Knights double up on the Canucks 4-2 in John Tortorella's first game behind the bench. Leafs topped the Ducks 5-4 in overtime, and the Sharks pick up a big 2 points, 5-4 winners over the St. Louis Blues. Toronto Maple Leafs, before that game in Anaheim, making waves as they announced the firing of general manager Brad Treliving, ending his tenure in his 3rd season in the front office. No announcement for a replacement has yet been named. In the association last night, several games on tap, including the OKC Thunder getting by Detroit 114-110 in overtime. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 47 points in the victory there. Victor Wembanyama, not to be outdone, 41 points, lifts the Spurs to a win over Chicago, 129-114. And the Boston Celtics, they fall to Atlanta, 112-102. Across the major leagues, Toronto lose big to Colorado, 14-5. The final elsewhere, Baltimore falling at the hands of Texas, 5-2. The Yankees lose to Seattle, 2-1. And the LA Dodgers, they get doubled up on by Cleveland, 4-2. Coming up in hour 2 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Sportsnet's Mark Specter, Frank Seravalli from Victory Plus TV, and Olympic gold medalist Laurianne Munzer. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home's story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today. At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, Visit gsconstruction.ca.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
Bashaw Concrete Products. From concrete and septic tanks to blocks, precast water pads, jersey barriers, and aggregates. Farmers, contractors, homeowners. Plan your next project at BashawConcrete.com. Family owned. Over 60 years pouring. Bashaw Concrete Products. Once again, start here. BashawConcrete.com.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:01 in Edmonton. Still a little chilly here as we wrap up the month of March, but looking a lot better for the tail end of the week, and maybe spring is finally here. Time now for On the Mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC, and spring is coming. So are the Corvettes. Come see the vets inside Northgate showroom, and you can get 0% financing. See more at northgategm.com. As we welcome in Mark Specter from Rogers Sportsnet. Good morning, Spec. Come on now, Spec.
Hey, what's going on? It's all right.
It's okay. Well, I don't know what. What are you sorry about? You didn't have the buttons pressed there correctly, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I don't know. You go from room to room. You wear different hats. You got an Expos hat on now. I don't know what the hell's going on with you.
I know. I turned you guys on like a half an hour ago just so I can hear what you're talking about. But then I turn it off during the commercial, and then it's on mute. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's 8:05. I guess I better look up.
Hey, you've never been on at 8:05 once, big guy.
I know. This gig was a lot easier when I signed up for this gig, it was just a phone call. Now it's all on video and everything. I got to do my hair.
Well, not when you're wearing an Expos hat. I mean, how can you cheer for the Cubs and wear an Expos hat?
Well, it's not like they play each other much anymore.
No, that's not. But you know what? I think that you're like everyone. Like, you might not be a Jays fan, or maybe like, for me, I was a Yankee fan growing up. This is before the Jays were even in the league. But then, once the Jays in the 90s, how could you not cheer for them?
Yeah, I'm a Canadian. First of all, we see them every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one team that's on TV all the time. And that's okay because they're a pretty good team now. So it's fun to have we're lucky that the team we get every day force-fed. Like, what if the Leafs were any good? At least the Blue Jays are legitimately good now. So when everyone in Toronto tells us how good they are, they're not making it up. And you know what? I like my Cubs. I like my Blue Jays. I like baseball. One thing about baseball, you can pretty much watch. There's something soothing about having a ball game on in the background. It really doesn't matter who's playing, does it?
Yeah, I mean, I love watching ball, but like the Jays game last night, that was like bizarro world with Ponce falling off the hill and then running the first and trying to snag a ball. It looked like he'd never fielded a ground ball in his life.
I know. Oh my God. I personally had never heard of the guy until he made his start yesterday. And we may never hear of him again. And then there might be some story that he was never actually a baseball player in the first place. He was just some imposter like the guy that was in that picture you were talking about.
Yeah, Sean Majumder. Did you remember that?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah. I remember. I don't know who airbrushed him out, but they weren't happy that he slid in there. I can tell you that.
Well, probably the same guy that's going to airbrush Tortorella into the Vegas
Yeah.
team picture instead of Butch Cassidy.
Mhm. Yeah, no kidding. Well, unless they haven't had their picture yet, but yeah, Torch gets a win last night. Spec.
Yeah, life and death to beat the Vancouver Canucks. You know, whatever they wanted, they beat the 32nd place team in the league. Good for them. Maybe that's something to build off of, right? Better to lose than to win. So I watched a good
see him here
chunk.
Saturday.
I'm sorry.
We'll see him here Saturday.
Yeah, we'll see him here Saturday. That'll be obviously a bigger test. I think they get Calgary coming up on Thursday, and then they're here Saturday. So, you know, let's. I mean, listen, you can't ask a coach in 4 days to turn his team all completely around, but maybe instill some confidence, maybe win a couple games, maybe, you know, the issues that they have are, I mean, can you coach good goaltending? I'm not sure you can. Yeah. You know, can you coach? I mean, I guess you could possibly coach a couple of those defensemen that aren't playing very well to play better, but he better coach as fast as he can because we're running out of daylight here.
For me, like I think he just comes in and says to the guys yesterday, just go out and play hard and have fun. Play for each other. Don't try to complicate it any more than what can be complicated. Just say to the guys, you guys have been here before. So how many of you guys won cups? Go out, have fun, play hard, play for each other. And that's probably all he needs to say here for the first bit.
Well, I guess so. And then that's fine. Like, let's take some pressure off and let's get guys to play to their potential a little bit more for sure. Loosen up the atmosphere. That's great. And that lasts for, how long does that last for? You know?
Well, the thing is, by the time we're assuming that they get into the playoffs, by that time, everything gets ratcheted up anyway, and you don't have to worry about it.
Well, I guess so. I mean, again, like to me, you know, we know all the reasons why the Oilers are sitting there where they are, like 2 points or 1 point ahead of Vegas. So it's not like they're any screaming hell this season. But the reasons that Vegas are where they are, you know, it starts with goaltending, but there's a few other things with that team that I'm not sure just having fun is going to solve. Like there's got to be some, you know, some guys have to up their performance considerably if that's going to be a team that can win a playoff round. And again, it starts in goal. So listen, maybe Torts has the secret sauce here. Maybe he can get Aiden Hill to stop more pucks, you know, post Bruce Cassidy than during Cassidy's tenure. If he can, good luck.
So I think I asked you earlier, Spec, like whoever comes into this wild card block, and let's just say it's going to be Utah right now, comes into the Pacific Division. So to me, the Vegas Golden Knights are still the most dangerous team that I would be playing if I'm the Oilers, just because of the playoff pedigree, experience. They've won it. They aren't the same team as they were when they won it, obviously, with no Pietrangelo and the goaltending. But all of those things, they scare me the most out of the Ducks, Utah, and if you're putting Vegas in there, Vegas scares me the most.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say that to you that's a fair assessment, but you know, I guess if I'm the Oilers, I mean, I beat them in 5 last year. 2 years before that, we played a playoff series, had them on the ropes, and remember they let in 3 goals in a minute and 45 or something like that. Blew that series. Really left that series feeling like it was an own goal, like you had them on the ropes in Vegas and let them go and should have beat them. You know, the Oilers have won for fun against Vegas over the last dozen games. I mean, they're 8-3 or something down in Vegas. They won 5 in a row in Vegas. I understand what you're saying about Vegas's pedigree and all that, but I'm looking at, you know, a team that Edmonton has no trouble against and has absolute confidence against. So I guess the way I look at the playoffs, and I know a lot of these people are crying and moaning about, you know, 2 versus 3 in the Central and the format and all that. You got to beat good teams, and you got to, you know, you're going to play Vegas eventually. I don't personally, if I'm the Oilers, I don't care if I play them right away. I'm confident I can beat Vegas if I'm Edmonton. If I play them in the first round, I play them in the second round. Who cares? Let's get it over with. I think I can win.
Well, and again, their path to the Final Four never been easier.
Yeah, I agree. So let's start the playoffs. It doesn't matter who the Oilers play to me.
Yeah.
You know, don't tell me that that they can't beat Utah. Don't tell me they can't beat Anaheim. You know, the Anaheim is. I watched the game last night a great deal, the Toronto game, and we should talk about the Leafs with Tree Living's presser coming up. But Anaheim doesn't defend at all. I mean, they're lost in their own zone, so they're really dangerous offensively. They're going to be a really good team. They're the future of the Pacific for sure.
Mhm.
But right now, a solid defensive playoff effort, and the Oilers' offense will beat Anaheim, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was. I mean, everyone knew it was going to happen between Gudis and whoever last night, and they kept coming after him. But you know, that's a pound of flesh for what he did. And
Yeah, good.
I mean, the
Gudis.
Leafs wanted more, but it doesn't matter. You know, in the sense that the Ducks and Duke said this many times. The Ducks are probably a better team with Gudis as their seventh D-man, not as their sixth.
I don't know who's going in his place. I guess I'd ask you,
Duke.
You know, who's the guy? Is it
Moore?
I mean, is it Moore? Is it
Moore?
You know, I'm not sure. Like, he does bring a certain quality. He does have everybody's head on a swivel. He does play physical and take a pound of flesh. Like, he's got an identity and he does a certain thing for you. Sure, put him in open ice against Connor McDavid, and I'd like, you know, I see what you're saying, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of guys out there that just play and they're just uniforms, and you're not sure what they're actually doing. At least Gudis gives you something. When he's on the ice, you tend to know he's on the ice. When he's on your team, you know, you there's a certain element of having Radko Gudis on your team that I don't mind.
I think like what Duke is saying is defending isn't, you know, it's dropped off considerably.
Okay, sure.
You know?
That's fair. You know, that's fair, sure. But I don't know. Like I say, I'm not telling you he's the best player in the world or anything like that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of third pairing guys that just exist and don't have any outstanding qualities. At least Radko Gudis will drill your best player on the other team once in a while and wake everybody up. But I don't mind that.
Yeah. So the firing of Treliving, like how do you, as an organization, so you let this guy, you know, run the trade deadline, and then 3 weeks later you can't. I don't understand it. Like if you knew back then that you think that you weren't going to go forward with this guy, why do you want him in charge of trade deadline?
Well, that's a good question. The Leafs are like government, right? There's so many cooks in the kitchen that it takes a long time for a decision like that to get from the top guy's brain down to HR. It's about 3 months.
Yeah.
You know? So don't ask the Leafs to act expediently on anything, because they're like a university or a government. There's more red tape there than there is in Ottawa.
Well, everyone wants Pelly. They don't want Pelly to run it.
Who knows who they want to run it? I don't know what they want there. I'm just, you know what? I am, and people can say, oh, you're just a Western guy ripping on the Leafs, whatever. You know, I was born in 1965. The Leafs' last cup was in 1967.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I'm an old fart around here. I'm 60 years old. I can't ever remember even seeing the Leafs make a Stanley Cup final ever in my lifetime. I was 2 years old. I don't remember it. Like, how many cups have the Oilers been in? How many cups have the Flames have been in? A couple of cups. The Rangers have been in cups. Anaheim's been in cups. Oh my God. Like, it's, and I guess coupled with the fact that, and all our media comes from Toronto, and I work for Rogers. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But a lifetime of being force-fed how good and prominent and well-run and organized and savvy and innovative the Leafs are. I mean, a lifetime of being fed that stuff by our sources in Toronto. And I guess I'm willing to say the jury's back after, 58 years, 59 years. The jury's back. All of those predictions of smart things by the Leafs were wrong. Like, everyone was wrong, right? Every guy that told you this is a good hire, this guy's going to turn it around, this coach is the answer, they're all wrong, because none of them ever did it.
You know, the only thing I can remember where there was a glimmer was when they lost to the LA Kings. right?
Sure.
In the semifinals.
They got to a Western final.
Like 93.
Let the trumpets sound, Kevin. They got to a Western final. Do we talk about Dallas, who's been to 3 Western finals? And, are we force-fed how Jim Nill is the savant of Western civilization? Like, come on, man. He's a hell of a GM, and they got a really good team, but they haven't accomplished anything either.
Did you watch the Harold Ballard documentary?
No.
Go find it. You'll love it.
Oh my God.
Look, it's a perfect, like the whole franchise in 67. Basically, it's a perfect analogy, perfect script for how he became the owner, sole owner, or because he came in and he had just a little percentage, and then all these other guys ended up bailing. And it was hilarious how he became the owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs. You'll go,
Okay.
How could this possibly be? You'll go, this doesn't make sense.
So how long you think that documentary lasts? Like, is it 2 hours? Is it a several-part series?
No, it's just an hour. It's an hour and a half or something.
Hour and a half?
Yeah.
How long does a root canal take?
About an hour and a half. So
Yeah.
you can watch it while you're getting your root
You
canal.
watch that documentary, I'll go for a root canal.
Hey, what about we got a text this morning too, and I got an email. Our old buddy Danny Barnes retiring.
Yeah, Danny Barnes.
Now, send me his number. I got it, but he's not responding. Maybe it's an old one.
Yeah, okay. I think I have a number for him.
Yeah.
Danny Barnes, good long-time sports writer in this town. I covered the Oilers beat with him for many years. We had a good system.
Yes.
When we were on the road together. He covered it for the Edmonton Sun, and I was the Edmonton Journal.
Okay.
And
again, Spec, I know how it worked. You guys were in cahoots. You had your meeting. You'd say, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to scoop anyone. I know.
No. Danny scooped me, and I scooped him for sure. We had lots of scoops against each other, me and him. We never played that game.
I remember in the 90s, going to Dallas, and him and Large, like Terry Jones, they'd sit at the bar together, and like Jonesy could pump him back pretty good, as you know, and Barney tried to keep up, it seemed, and it was like, why would you even try?
We all made that mistake once.
Yes, you're right. Once.
We all made that mistake once and never did it again.
Exactly.
Anyway, a really good career. Him and I were good. We battled hard in the road. I beat him, he beat me, and then we'd go out at night and have a hell of a good time together.
Oh.
And he had a good career in Edmonton, longtime sports writer. We were columnists at the Edmonton Journal together, he and I, and hell of a guy, good guy, fun guy, good writer, good reporter, all around good journalist, fun guy to work with.
Yeah.
Like to have a laugh,
Oh, yeah. We're going to get him in studio here a couple days or something like
that. Yeah, absolutely. You should, for sure. Ask him what he's been doing the last 3 years. I thought he retired 3 years ago.
So, he's had 3 bylines in the last 4 years.
I know. What a gig.
Yeah.
Tell him maybe I can, if that gig's still open, I'll take it.
Well, then the one article I started reading was 19 pages long. I said, sorry, Barney, I don't have time to invest myself in this. Okay, Spec, have a good one, big guy. We'll see you down at the rink tonight.
All right.
Mark Specter on the mark, brought to you by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. Check them out at northgategm.com. When we come back, Frank Seravalli from Victory Plus TV on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
At Hughes, it's all about getting in and out quick and clean. No cash, no problem. With Hughes' new tap and wash system, all you need is your debit or credit card to get your vehicle sparkling clean.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
With the lead up to the playoffs underway, players are definitely stepping up their game.
And the fans are doing the same. Simple snacks like chips and dip may work at the front half of the season, but now more and more fans are rocking the Wilhock beef jerky for game time get-togethers.
Just make sure you bring enough for everyone if you want to be invited back for the playoffs.
Make your next hockey game day a Will Hockey game day with Wilhock beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today because you don't win games with salad.
Mr. Reuter kinda speaks French.
Je m'appelle Monsieur Reuter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Reuter. Your name is Mr. Reuter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Reuter.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Oil Country. Your seat is closer than you think. Starting at just $28 a week with a deposit-free payment plan available. Securing your full, half, and quarter season seats inside Rogers Place for the 2026-27 season has never been easier. Sign up for pre-sale access at edmontonoilers.com/season seats. Experience all that Rogers Place has to offer during an Oilers game night by visiting edmontonoilers.com/season seats.
For almost half a century, families, farmers, and mechanics across Alberta have trusted Ed's Auto Salvage in Westlock. Why? Because we know cars and we know value. Hi, Lisa here. And whether it's keeping your work truck hauling or getting your teenager's first car back on the road, Ed's has the parts you need at prices you can afford. Reliable, affordable, local. That's Ed's Auto Salvage. With province-wide shipping and daily delivery to Edmonton, visit us at edsautosalvage.com.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
Portions of this hour brought to you by the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers fans, season seats have never been easier. Sign up for first access to full, half, and quarter seats starting at only $28 per week by visiting edmontonoilers.com/season seats.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:23 in Edmonton, and time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Reuter Plumbing. Getting snakes deep and giving 110% day in and day out for all your plumbing needs. Go to mrreuter.ca as we welcome in Frank Seravalli from Victory Plus TV. Good morning, Frank.
How you doing, Kevin?
Good. Great weekend. What'd you get up to?
Not much, to be honest. I can't tell you how refreshing it is to have a life back after coaching and doing everything else over the winter. So to be able to kind of hang out and watch TV is like the oddest feeling.
Well, that's good. You can recharge the batteries for next year's coaching job, Frank.
It's already started. We already had tryouts, pal.
Maybe you should apply for the Leafs GM job.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, it's the Toronto Maple Leafs, the self-proclaimed center of the hockey universe. Clearly there will be interested parties. I just wonder, like, with everything that goes with what is staring down a potentially long rebuild. Is it odd to question how interesting the job is?
Well, as you said, it's, when you say the Toronto Maple Leafs, it reminds me of the line from Moneyball, right? When Brad Pitt goes to Boston, he goes, I thought the guy offered you the job in Oakland, restructure your contract or renegotiate it or extend it. And he just said, it's the Red Sox.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
Everyone's living under I guess you'd say an aura of, if I could be the guy that could somehow get the Toronto Maple Leafs over the hump, if I could be Theo Epstein that gets the Boston Red Sox to win their first title since 1914, I'm going to be remembered forever.
Yeah. I mean, forever.
The road to perdition is paved with skulls of GMs and coaches who have gone in there thinking that they're going to be the guy since 1967.
I want to even just go up a step higher in the organization with Keith Pelly here, Frank. I met Pelly 30 some years ago. He was doing curling for TSN. So that's how far he's come. And then we know he went to Europe with the PGA Europe Golf and he was with the Argonauts. So, but when you hear all the outside noise, I've never heard anyone say that this is the right guy to be at the head of MLSE.
Well, I think it's a great question to ask. I mean, what are his credentials? What is his authority to be conducting this search? Clearly being put in place by MLSE to do it. We get it. But rewind back to 1 year ago. Brendan Shanahan was in need of a new contract extension and they shoved him out the door. And then they said at that moment in time, Keith Pelly did specifically, that he has the right leadership in place with Brad Treliving and Craig Berube. Now Craig Berube is surely to follow Brad Treliving out the door less than 1 calendar year later. And it's every facet of the MLSE operation, it feels like, that Keith Pelly has cleaned house on. Masai Ujiri left last year. I mean, it's one person after the other.
Yeah.
And I think you then have to ask the question, Keith Pelly, you've put yourself squarely in the crosshairs here. You're making, I'd say, inarguably the most important and critical hire for the Toronto Maple Leafs and MLSE for the next quarter century.
So, I mean, you've heard the names floating around like Doug Armstrong, DeBoer is head coach. Is it, if he goes a different route and goes like off the board here for either of these jobs, he might not have a job in 3-4 months.
I'd hesitate to put a timeline on it, but what do you consider off the board? Now, here's the way I look at it, which is the magnitude of this job. And I don't mean just the enormity of the position and its standing in the league. I mean, managing a staff that is as large as the Toronto Maple Leafs are, one of the biggest in the league, I'd have to say, just based on sheer volume. It cannot go to a person that doesn't have experience in the role. That's how I see it. Now, does that mean they could hire someone without experience? I mean, they could, but I don't see it that way. And so my view would be that it's going to be someone, and if it's not Doug Armstrong, someone that has done the role previously.
Yeah, like Doug Armstrong's name is the one that floats around here. Is his contract, does it basically expire at the end of this year with Steen taking over there in St. Louis, Frank?
No, it extends into the future. Doug Armstrong will take on a new role as president of hockey ops, which, look, I'm not privy to the exact details of how the machinations all work, but my understanding was that once Doug Armstrong found a successor and groomed him in Alex Steen and set him up for the role, that if something were to come along for Doug Armstrong that he felt made sense for him and his family, that Tom Stillman and the St. Louis Blues ownership group wouldn't stand in his way of taking it. I think that door, as we get closer to that transition on July 1st from general manager to president of hockey ops, that door is wide open for Doug Armstrong. And I have to tell you that this has been whispered in hockey circles since the beginning of this season.
Mhm.
People were already talking, well, if the Leafs blow up and if Brad Treliving is gone, look for Doug Armstrong to come in there, as it makes a ton of sense. So I'd say, interestingly enough, as much as Brad Treliving was rumored to be going from Calgary to Toronto, that same vibe, that same feel exists right now with Doug Armstrong going from St. Louis to Toronto.
And there's no more compensation anymore, right? For guys leaving?
Well, there technically is, but I mean, I don't think it would apply in this case. I'm sure Doug Armstrong can find a way out of his deal.
So let's just play the hypothetical here then. If it is Doug Armstrong and he does want this job, is DeBoer number one? Is Cassidy number two? Like, what's he going to be looking at? As you said, the experience in a market like Toronto, it has to come into play.
I think it's impossible to handicap at this point. We're talking about hypotheticals of hypotheticals. If it is Armstrong, will it be X coach? I think the biggest thing that needs to be sorted out in Toronto is, what is their posture with whoever's hired? Do they believe that they need to tear this thing down and start over? Or is this a quick, hey, we're going to fix things, we're going to get everything back in order, we're going to keep William Nylander, we're going to keep Austin Matthews, and we're going to reshape our defense, and we'll be right back in the playoffs next year? If that's the case, and to operate on another hypothetical, I could for sure see Doug Armstrong bringing in one of those two highly qualified candidates, Bruce Cassidy and Pete DeBoer, both of whom worked on Team Canada's staff with him at the Olympics in Milan. Without question, I could see that.
Yeah.
But Austin Matthews and his decision-making process, what does he think and have to say about Brad Treliving being fired? What does he feel about how the Toronto Maple Leafs didn't come to his defense? And they can all sit there last night after playing the Anaheim Ducks and taking on Radko Gudas and say they all wanted a piece and act tough. You can't do it in the moment in real time. Anyone can do it after getting raked over the coals for 2 or 3 weeks by the Toronto media.
Just one last one before we talk about the Gudas and Domi and everything last night. Any chance, because of the history between, and again, if it is Doug Armstrong, because he has a past history with the chief, Craig Berube, but no chance he comes back?
I have a hard time seeing it. I think he's a dead man walking, and I think if Keith Pelly and Maple Leaf Sports Entertainment had their way, Craig Berube would have been fired back in December.
Yeah. So anyway, you saw the Gudas and Domi right off the hop. It was almost like Gudas was going, okay, get your licks in here. Get your licks, and let's just move on.
I don't even think he swung.
No, I don't think he did either.
And I give him a ton of credit for being willing to answer the bell, as he framed it, his quote own mistake. And I think he deserves a lot of look, it's not easy to do that. And the fact that he was hurt and decided to play anyway, it shows his character. And I think he's got a ton, and it's why guys around the league respect him. And you saw just about every guy that was on the ice for the Ducks came over and gave him a fist bump when he was in the box. I don't have any respect, or let me rephrase that. The Leafs don't get any credit from me today for stepping up to take on Radko Gudas in such an obvious spot.
Yeah.
You don't get any points after the fact. We're not giving out extra credit. This is not one of those math tests where if you show your work and do your corrections that I'm going to bump up your score. It's just, it's not how it works. And I think on one hand, it's really admirable how this sport works, in the sense that you have a player who's willing to take the temperature down for his team and not force someone else on his team to answer the bell for him.
Right.
I also think it's absolutely idiotic that we're at this stage where Radko Gudas served his suspension. Obviously, the Leafs didn't feel like it was long enough. And, there's this retribution factor for next time you play. It's like, what are we doing here? I mean, as stupid as that was, and having Max Domi, wail on Radko Gudas a couple times and him not even try and fight back. It's like, okay, congrats. I just think this code, at times,
part of the game.
yeah, there's so much honor to it, but at times you sit back and you go, "What are we doing here?"
For
I
me,
crazy?
I mean, it's take a number. I mean, 100% they should have had something that happened during the game. Right after the incident happened, but there always still is that, we'll take a number and we'll get it next time too. And that's always going to be part of the game.
Yeah, but they didn't do anything the rest of the game when they did it the first time.
Mm-hmm.
This whole notion of because Radko Gudas is hurt, he needs to come out and answer the bell. It just seems stupid.
John Tortorella, what kind of bump is he going to give the Vegas Golden Knights? Can they do some damage with him behind the bench in the playoffs, assuming they get in?
Well, they're fully capable of doing some damage. I mean, they've got some really talented players, and I think that top four of their defense should be in a much better position than they've been in. I mean, even without Alex Pietrangelo, Shea Theodore, Braden McNabb, Rasmus Anderson, Noah Hannafin, that's a pretty quality top four to be able to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just lost on the whole John Tortorella thing to begin with. Did you his press conference yesterday was so wholly unappealing. And I don't mean personality wise. I just mean the first words out of his mouth are, "We're not going to change much." And then the second thing was, "Well, I don't watch a lot of Vegas Golden Knights." And then the third thing was, "I don't know any of these guys' names, so I'm going to have to write them down on the wall in my office in order to try and remember them." He was calling the one guy on the team last night the wrong name all night.
But he's deflecting stuff. He's trying to make it something else a story here. And I think, as I said earlier, I think his goal right now is just to say to these guys, go out and play hard, have fun, play for each other.
That works when you've got a couple seasons to get it right. Not when you've got 8 games, now 7, and you're only guaranteed a playoff run.
But that's the thing, Frank. That's why it makes sense, because there's only 7 games. He doesn't have to worry about something 30, 40 games in, because everything's going to get ratcheted up here down the stretch even more so, and then into the playoffs. So he doesn't have to worry about that.
Look, I applaud the Vegas Golden Knights for having balls the size of a dump truck to make this move and fire unquestionably one of the best coaches in the league with 8 games remaining. And John Tortorella has won a Stanley Cup and has got a ton of history and experience, 7th most wins in the league all time, or whatever the number is. But I'm not blowing it all up to have a guy come in with 8 games left that has won 1 playoff round in 10 seasons. I'm just not doing it. So I understand the notion of making a coaching change at this juncture, if that's what you want. But just like this Brad Treliving situation in Toronto, and now doing it with a couple weeks left in the season, you better get the right guy, because as bad as you think things have been, it could always be worse.
One last one, Frank. Hey, what's this post on the weekend? Did you have a scout that you were quoting or about NCAA teams?
No.
What was this all about?
So I misspoke, and I corrected it, and I owned it, and I said it. I was doing a Ducks intermission, and I was talking about the NCAA, and I said that there are some scouts who believe that the top end NCAA programs can go toe-to-toe with AHL teams. Now, I misspoke and said NHL teams. I had 3 different leagues on my brain, and I corrected it, and somehow that made it worse. And people are saying that I have 0 credibility and I don't understand hockey, which, I mean, if that's your take, that's fine. But this whole notion that I said that I think NCAA teams can compete with NCAA team or NHL teams is lunacy. It's absolute lunacy. And I think anyone that's saying that the top end NCAA programs can't compete with AHL teams either hasn't watched the AHL recently or hasn't watched the NCAA. It's changing rapidly with NIL money, and there are a ton of NCAA players who make a lot more than AHL players.
Hey, what's your favorite game of the night? Detroit Pitt, Flyers Caps. What do you like? I mean, Hurricanes Blue Jackets are playing.
This is kind of put up or shut up time for the CBJ, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Their playoff hopes are dwindling. As I see it today, the playoff odds entering tonight, Islanders and Columbus are both at 49%.
Yeah.
So, I'm watching all of them, but I'm particularly interested in Columbus because it would be quite a story to have the run that they did only to peter out with 8 games left.
See, I'm looking at Detroit too tonight to see what they do, Frank, because of Todd McClellan came out again, had a little speech like he had, at the beginning of the year. So I want to see how they respond.
You saw what his quote was the other day, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he talked about but we shouldn't be having to fine tune things.
Yeah, his exact quote was, "You shouldn't be trying to extract competitiveness or heaviness out of the players at this time."
Mm-hmm.
But here we are.
That's
your boy.
Yeah, known each other for 50 some years. Good stuff, Frank. We'll talk to you on Thursday.
Have a good one, Kevin.
Frank Seravalli from Victory Plus TV. Headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter, the number 1 overall pick in your fantasy plumbing pool. That's mrrooter.ca. I got an email sent to me, Duke. The only bad thing about it, it's just, we got Laurianne, then we got Lwal. I got to wait like about 40 minutes to read it on air. And this email is scathing. And it has to do with you, Duke.
Oh, excellent.
It is I only read the first line or two, but if you have been thrown under the bus, it is, our listeners are going to be blown away when they hear this.
I can't wait to answer the bell.
When we come back, Laurianne Munzer on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lottery, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Whether it's a house, a gas station, an apartment complex, or any new building going up above ground, the work always starts below ground. And that's where you'll find GS Construction. GS Construction ensures the first step, relocating utilities, installing new ones, and building the underground systems, is taken to make progress possible. But the work can't start without you. GS Construction is currently on the lookout for experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators. To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk, and it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
Divorce is never easy, but Fairway Divorce Solutions can help.
Their clear step-by-step process addressed all our issues, and we moved through the process quickly.
Fairway didn't take sides. They saved us money and heartache.
My ex, the kids, and I feel like we'll all be okay.
At Fairway Divorce Solutions, trained mediators and in-house lawyers will move your divorce process forward in a professional and efficient manner to achieve a fair resolution and separation agreement. Visit fairwaydivorce.com.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
Your game, your station. Sports 1440.
And watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Program 844 in Edmonton. Time to welcome in Laurianne Munzer, Olympic gold medalist from 2004. Good morning, Laurianne.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you doing today?
Well, I understand I'm doing great, but I understand you have a big night ahead of you.
I do. It's just continued on from the weekend. So tonight is Oilers game, and I got my jersey. Well, I actually have two special shirts. So I've got the Kraken T-shirt that I'm going to wear underneath my Oilers jersey because Kraken are coming in, but I am on a mission to see if I could meet Jessica Campbell. So she's coming into town.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah.
You know, she's from my hometown, Melville.
I understand that. Yeah. Totally Canadian. I think what she's doing is fantastic and doing a little trailblazing too.
Yeah, you better watch with that shirt on, Laurianne. Someone might take you under the stands. You never know. You know,
which one? The Oilers one or the Kraken one?
Oh, you never know. It could be both.
Well, that's why I got both. So if I have to, you know, I can take off the Oilers jersey, become a Kraken, then put it back on and, you know, be the Oil. And so I've got both just in case.
So you have to do something with the panel here, like, and maybe we'll touch on that before. Are you going to try to get to see Campbell, like, before, you know, the warm up, things like that? Like, how's it going to work?
I really don't know. I've just put it out there. So I am on a panel with two other women. So we have Rachel Foley, who is the new CEO for the YWCA here in Edmonton. And then Danielle Weller, she is the OEG, the Oilers Entertainment Group VP of Human Resources. So today is, you know, the last day in March here, celebrating women in sport. And it's going to be talking about leadership, resilience, courage, bit of a fundraiser, doing the game afterwards. So panel and three groups have come together. So Women in Leadership, Lean in Edmonton, and Business Professional Women's Group. So lots of, I think there's going to be some really great questions and celebrating, you know, different experiences and sharing insights and lessons learned.
Yeah. So where's this panel going to be, Laurianne? Like, how's it work? Is it going to be in like Fort Hall, or like, where is it going to be?
I think it's in the Hall of Fame room in Rogers Place. So we're going to be there before the game. So it's a sold out event. You had to get tickets for it. It's been sold out for, I think, 3 weeks. I think the tickets went on sale 3.5 weeks ago. So it was a sellout just within a couple of days. And, you know, continuing the month of celebrating women in sport and women in leadership.
Well, it's pretty cool that you kind of got all this together. It would be great to have Jessica Campbell just all of a sudden show up out of the blue.
Oh, I think that would be just amazing. Yeah. So I think she's got a lot of stories and a lot of lessons learned. I just think what she's doing is fantastic because I remember last year when they made the announcement as assistant coach, that was a big day. That was a big moment. And second, being Canadian, wow, super great combination. And for her to look at it from a different perspective, I think she's doing a fantastic job.
Well, you know, for sure, Laurianne. I mean, this is a situation, you know, she was in the minors in Seattle system and then ended up coming up with Dan Bilesma and ends up staying. And, you know, so this is, you know, it's unprecedented really when you think about it because, you know, there's still, and maybe you can attest to this, like women in sport, they're still, women are still trying to make strides to do certain jobs with their qualifications, whatever they might be. So maybe just touch on that. And I guess tonight is something that would goes hand in hand with, the future growth of women in sports.
Oh, absolutely. And without a doubt, we've always been here, Kevin, whether it's been supporting roles, it's been step in interim leadership roles, and then taking the helm and leading it. Some people love it. Some people don't. Some people are for it. Some people are against it. And I think it's really about having that strong vision of where do you see a position, a group, a team going and growing, whether it's business or sports, but especially in sports. We've seen the PWHL come up. That game is changing. That is inspiring even more women to play professionally, and I'm using the air quotes because for a long time, so many sports, they're considered amateur and that's it. But to have that designation as a professional, that is a game changer. But having the physicalness to change the game is one thing, but then it's also bringing in the mental aspect, because everything we do, there is a physical component to it, but the part that will either make or break us is the emotional component. Can you be tough enough to stay in the game? Like when I was racing with the men, I had to put my gladiator armor and shells on sometimes because it was really tough. It was really hard, but it's how we look at it, our perspectives, our beliefs. And I'm seeing more and more women going, this is who I am. This is what I want to do. I think we can do things really efficient, or we can get some great results. In some arenas, it's all about winning. In other arenas, it's about the success. So there's different areas of where we can shine. And what I see the most is women saying, this is what I love to do. This is what I'm really good at. And when I put the two of them together, here is what's possible. And it's really, it's about creating those pictures and selling that vision, that dream, those goals, and connecting pieces together that people maybe haven't done a great job before, or that we've been missing, or they see a new way of doing something. And I think that's where things are moving. And it's a matter of having a voice and saying, you know what? I love this. And I'm also really good at this.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get to, a stage where there's a head coach, a woman head coach in the NHL, or even a general manager for that matter. I was thinking, the Haley Wickenheiser's worked in the Leafs organization here, way down, as far as like an assistant GM and then some. But, do you still see, I guess the question that I'm trying to get out here is a pushback from, the men, male orientated, where they are and how they end up to be running a lot of the organizations, obviously. Do you still see a little bit of a pushback?
Oh, I see a lot of pushback. Yeah. It's not just a little, Kevin. It's about changing and it's about changing the paradigm. And the paradigm is the beliefs, the behaviors, the systems, the way it's always been done. And we hear that with everything, from grassroots sports right up to the elite level in every sport. Yeah. And I see head coach coming. I don't know if it will be in our lifetime. I hope it will be in our lifetime. However, it's changing the paradigm. It's changing the way and seeing things being done, because we see so many females stepping into those roles. And unfortunately, we get the label of interim, and then they select somebody else. But it's about leading the way. It's about thinking things in a different way, doing things in a different way, where you get a better result, or you get the exact same result, but it is better. So then, it is the better way of doing it. So again, it comes down to, what is your vision in the role where you are? What is the long-term vision of, the radio station? I know Jason has a vision. You've got a vision. I've got a vision. I saw so many visions that got tried and executed on the weekend with the junior national championships being held at the Velodrome. Some of the kids won, some of the kids didn't, some of the kids finished, some of the kids got ejected off of the back. And you know what this theme was, Kevin, that I heard that I was just grinning from ear to ear? When I was talking with these young up-and-coming athletes, they all said, oh my God, this is so much fun. And they were just vibrating. Their energy was just oozing out of them. And they were smiling from ear to ear. And I'm thinking 21 years ago, when I went to Athens, what could the possibilities have been if there was an indoor velodrome back then? But there wasn't. We have an outdoor track. We've had an outdoor track since 1977, 1978. The Commonwealth Games were here. Amazing. You build it, they will come. Guess what? People are coming.
Yeah.
It's open to recreational riders, club riders, masters riders. It is open to the public. So if you want to come and have that experience, jump on a bike, we've got it. If you want to watch and support and volunteer, we've got that as well. And when you see somebody doing something, Kevin, it plants the seed of, hey, this is possible. If they're doing it, maybe I can do it. And then that maybe I can do it starts to become, you know what? I can do this. And then that I can do this becomes, guess what? I am doing this. And that's where the shifts, that's where the changes, I believe, come from.
Well, it must have been a lot of fun down at the Velodrome for you to see all the young kids. And man, oh man.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing. And then I had a surprise reconnection. Eric Van den Eyne was the national track coach. He was the national cycling coach at the Olympics back in Athens. I have not seen Eric since I left Athens. And he is one of the biggest game changers with Quebec cycling. He trains, he coaches, he works with athletes, he works with the coaches. He was there. I haven't seen him in 21 years. And Kevin, it was just like it was yesterday in Athens. And both of us, I think we both had the biggest grin on our face. And it was so awesome to reconnect. And he said to me, he said, Laurianne, do you remember the first time I met you on a bike? And I was thinking, and I was going through my Rolodex going, okay, you're taking me back to 1989. And I thought of a couple of events, and he went, nope. I thought of a couple more. He went, nope. He says, I was on a ride from San Bruno to Saint Jean to look at a car. And you were out riding. I saw you do a U-turn, and then you chased us down to catch us. And then you rode with us back to Saint Jean. He said, that was the first time I met you. And little did I know what his background was. Accomplished junior rider, accomplished senior rider, also a coach, and just so many projects that I had done with him. And it was funny because I said to him, here I am on the start line, and I don't remember if it was semifinals or the finals. And I've got my arm around him because he's hanging on to me to make sure that I'm getting set to go and do my heat, the race. And I looked over and I went, you've got the shiniest bald head ever. So I just kind of like rubbed the head for good luck, because I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And then I got into, beast mode, monster mode, and then went off and did the heat and won the heat. So we were laughing about that story.
Well, at least you got to rub his bald head. That's the main thing. Good stuff, Laurianne. Hey, enjoy your night tonight down at Rogers, and hopefully you get to run into Jessica Campbell. It'd be great.
Yeah, totally. Well, I'll text you where I'm seated, and I hear you're going down to the game, so maybe we can connect down there too.
Be up in the press box, way up there. So,
ooh, right on, bird's eye view.
Have a great night, Laurianne. Appreciate it.
And you too. Take care.
Laurianne Munzer, 2004 Olympic gold medalist in cycling. Top of the hour, he's in the studio. Lwal Ugwok, defensive lineman for the Montreal Alouettes. Edmontonian, one of the all-time good guys. He's been in studio here a couple times now. It's going to be good to talk to him. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding. AWSwelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Handful of games across the NHL last night. The Penguins beat the Islanders 8-3. Avalanche put 49 shots on goal. 9 of them passed the goaltender as they beat the Flames 9-2. Golden Knights win their first game with John Tortorella behind the bench, doubling up on Vancouver 4-2. Blues fall to the Sharks 5-4. And Toronto Maple Leafs beating the Ducks 5-4 in overtime. And in case you missed it, just before puck drop in that game, the Leafs announced the firing of general manager Brad Treliving, ending his tenure in what was his third season in the executive branch. In the association, 8 games total last night, including San Antonio beating Chicago 129-114. Victor Wembanyama 41 points in victory. And the OKC Thunder OT winners 114-110 over the first place Pistons. Canadian SGA 47 points for Oklahoma City. Across the majors, full set of games yesterday, the Blue Jays get beat badly by the Colorado Rockies 14-5 at home. Cody Ponce leaving the game early after injuring his knee trying to field a ground ball. No further word as he's going to undergo imaging to evaluate the injury. Elsewhere, Baltimore losing to Texas 5-2. Seattle beat the Yankees 2-1. And Cleveland doubled up on the Dodgers 4-2. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by Montreal Alouettes defensive lineman Lwal Ugwok, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440,
A Stingray radio station.
broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Great news for your weekend project. CFI, that's Custom Floors Inc., is now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 till 2. Get top quality Canadian products from Beaulieu with the convenience you need. For your free estimate, visit CFI at customfloorsinc.ca.
You see it? Fusion Promo Marketing can make it. Fusion makes high-quality, memorable promotional products for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. From vision to reality, get noticed and remembered. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Don't let equipment failure stop you cold. At AWS Welding in Nisku, our factory-trained service techs are on hand for all welding equipment repairs. We're a fully warranted center for Miller, Lincoln, and ESAB. And we service all makes and models. Proper, regular service extends the life of your gear and keeps it running at peak capacity. Don't wait for a breakdown. Book your service appointment today at 780-979-0470. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Open your mind to saving up to 25% on select tires at Fountain Tire.
Okay.
Visualize mail-in rebates of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires.
I see it.
And now, $50 off a $150 service with the purchase of 4 select tires.
Amazing. But how do you do this in a sidecar?
It's surprisingly spacious. Offer ends April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book at fountaintire.com. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:04 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio. The show is presented by Sports Select. And man, oh man, if you want to bet on some hockey tonight, it is the night. There's so many good games this evening. 10 in total, of course. The Oilers, one of them, home to the Seattle Kraken. The Jets are in a must-win situation with Chicago. But there's so many good games in the sense that teams need to make a push, make a move. Phillies come on. Columbus, we talked about them with Frank. Detroit Red Wings, the coach called them out the other day. So these are all teams that you could look at Sports Select and games you can look at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus to play. Hey, we're going to talk a little football with Lwal Ugwok, who joins us in studio. Montreal Alouettes defensive lineman. He's come in studio before, and I've been interviewing Lwal for, I don't know, man. It's got to be how long?
It's been quite some
It's
time.
like,
for sure.
what are we looking at? Because
High school, I think, was the first time.
yeah, we're looking at 10 years minimum. Yeah, so because you guys you guys always had great teams at Ainley.
Yeah, Ainley. That's where it all started.
Yeah,
kind of taking the top off over there. 2018 is when things kind of started rolling our way on the football side of things.
Yeah.
Made a name for ourselves.
Yeah, who do you like? I'm just thinking. I'm trying to go back and like even watching Eli Hetlinger, here at U of A.
Yeah.
So maybe go back to your Ainley days, and again, as you said, that's where it all started.
That's where it all started. Yeah, we had some really good guys. We had Jonathan Rosary, running back, Tyler Dugood, who's now on the French national team for rugby.
Is he?
Yeah, I've been thinking about him a lot just because I've been going back and sharing some of our stories back at Ainley, and like seeing where everyone is and how the talent wasn't just on the football field. We had guys on our team who were able to branch off and go do their things elsewhere and continue to keep that mindset that they developed at Ainley under Coach Tyler Greenslade. So yeah, it's been pretty good. Just looking back and visualizing and revisiting like how far I've come in my career and what I've done, and just from most of those steps that I took started at Ainley.
Yeah.
Developed a different type of mindset just to get me to go even to play down south. And then carry that over to playing in the professionals.
Yeah. When you mentioned Dugood with the French rugby team, like very popular, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
How did that happen? Like, how did he get over there?
So I think Tyler was he loved all the physical sports. He was doing wrestling in the morning. He was in the morning weight training and doing the rugby and football at the same time. I've been playing football with Tyler since I think 2009. It was his first year when he played with Edmonton Chargers.
Okay.
And we've been kind of playing alongside each other up until high school, and just he plays O-line, I play D-line. So most of the times as we grew up, those are the matchups in practice.
You guys are going head to head.
Head to head, yeah. And his dad was one of our coaches too, and I loved his dad. His dad he was awesome, just like the way he pushed him, and he also started to push me at the same time because he knew we had it in us, and we're both successful in our own right, and I'm just happy for what Tyler's doing. Just locked in over there in France.
Yeah. When you guys were with the Chargers, you played at a halftime game at Commonwealth, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We did play I think I played in 2.
Okay.
I think I'll never forget that halftime game though. That was crazy. Just I think we played St. Albert team, Bombers. Okay. I don't know if they're still a team, but we played them. That was in 2010. And, it was just a great experience. And then now I'm playing on the field. It's crazy because I think I told this story last time. There was some guys that I played with in Montreal that played on that Edmonton team.
Oh, wow.
That's like 10 years, 12, 15 years difference. And it's just crazy to see that they were still thriving.
Oh, man.
While I was with Montreal.
Lwal Ugwok with us in studio at Montreal Alouettes, defensive lineman. So before we get to the camps that you got going on this weekend, because it's a big part that why you're here and back in town. And you mentioned going down south. So you went to UConn and then you go to TCU.
Yep.
So, and then you're in the national championship.
Right, exactly.
So we talked about that last time too. So that, for a college career, that's got to be the highlight for you.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to lie. That national championship run we had at TCU was pretty special. And like I said, just been revisiting my career so far, and just being able to sit there and say, okay, there's some boxes on my list that I've checked off without even realizing it because I was in those moments. Going to UConn, meeting some great humans, some really good friends, and also learning to become to become a pro, and just becoming a stronger mindset wise and on the field, and seeing my game develop from just a little kid at Ainley, and then coming in the summer late. I got there later than everybody did at UConn, and just continuing to grow. Got thrown in the fire right away. I was a true freshman, and then kind of made a name for myself there for those 3 seasons. We didn't play during the COVID season, so those 3 seasons we had there was pretty special for me as a player, but also to develop, as an athlete.
Was that an easy decision when you transferred from UConn to TCU because of, it's a bigger school, I guess.
Right.
I don't know.
Not really. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a little while. I came home first during the break. We had the off season. The school was done. We had a school break, and I came home, and I was thinking about it a little bit during the season. Our coach had got fired the second game of the season that year, and we were gonna have a new coach regardless. I think I just needed I guess you could say, change of scenery mentally, and for the last year of my college career, just trying to take that risk to go play in a bigger conference and just try to continue to make a name for myself. I decided to go to TCU. I really loved the coach that brought me in there, and even the coach that's still the head coach there, Coach Dykes, definitely just believing in me to go over there and to help on the D line. Just it ended up us being in the national championship and playing in some games that I'll never forget.
Yeah. Lwal Ugwok with us in the Sports 1440 studios here at West Edmonton Mall. Is there some players from that TCU team that have gone NFL, guys?
Yeah, we had our receiver Quentin Johnston.
Yeah.
He's on the Chargers right now. One guy that's just been going crazy is D Winters, linebacker on the 49ers. They had some injuries there, and he had to step up, and just seeing D go and do his thing there is pretty special because I think he was a later round draft pick, but he's always been a dog. So he got his opportunity and he ran with it. I'm happy for him over there. Steve Avila, he's on the Rams guard, starting left guard, and then Brandon Coleman, who I used to go against a lot in practice. He's on the Washington Commanders. I think he's more rotational, but he's definitely doing his thing over there. But yeah, we had quite a handful of guys. Max Duggan, it's crazy. We played against Toronto this past season, and I'm walking off the field, and he comes up to me and he dabs me up. I was like, "Oh, Max, I didn't even know you were here, man. That's crazy." Just seeing seeing him still thriving and seeing him still happy to play the game that we all grew to love is just it's crazy, and just seeing them come up to Canada and still do their thing it's awesome too.
Lwal Ugwok with us on Sports 1440. So you've been in Montreal a couple of years now. What is it about, the Alouettes, the city, Coach Moss?
Yes, Coach Moss.
He was here for so many years as a player and a coach. So what is it about Montreal and the team that's just the right fit for you?
I think it's just the fact that, we all gave ourselves the opportunity to grow with each other. Coach Moss was there. His first year was my first year with Montreal. Just growing and him developing, a new mindset to try to help us get to that championship level. We definitely were underdogs my rookie year, and for some reason continue to feel like underdogs no matter how good we are. And maybe it's just, the way the rest of the league looks at Quebec teams and Montreal in general. They got a little bit of an edge towards us, and that's completely fine. But I think Coach Moss has definitely made it very important to make the culture there like a big thing. And at the end of the day, when you're getting people from all across, honestly, the world, because the CFL, branches out, it's important to build a culture within your team. And there's already a culture within Montreal, and as much as we embrace that, as much as we embrace everybody and become one, really is that's when we're playing at our best. We have guys from all over the place, and it doesn't take too long for them to realize how important it is, the Montreal culture, but also the this Canadian Football League culture as well. And I love the guys that we have on our team, like not only as teammates, but I got a lot of friends on the team. That's why I was going to camps in Quebec City and Halifax, and just going to support my guys, because it definitely means something to them, and it's going to make our chemistry better as we go into the season.
Just staying with Coach Moss for a second here, Lwal. I mean, when he was here, he was really fiery, passionate, and I'm not saying he's not that now,
right,
but he's a little bit different. So what have you noticed about him in the last, a couple of years, I guess?
I think I've heard about how he was before, and I've probably seen him play when I was younger, but I think where he's at right now it's perfect, because it's the right mix of fiery, because he has the passion for the game, and like, we play the game of football. You got to be able to put your players in a certain mindset, especially to win championships and even make it back to that level consistently. Like, you need a coach that will believe in you, but also show how important it is to him and to the team and to everybody in the organization. I don't know if you've been watching March Madness, but you see UConn's coach Dan Hurley, how he is, and how he is with his players. It's like, it's so hard to win, and you prep so much for just one game, and to do it for 18 games or 25 games or however it just makes it for basketball, football, no matter what it is. As a coach, I think it's important that you get the right mix, because you get your guys and you show that you will die for the game, but you also get them to believe that they will too. And I remember when Coach Hurley came to UConn, I think that was my last year there, and just seeing they're trying to change the basketball program around over there, and you look at them now, like 5 years down the road, they're won 2 national championships and they're going to another Final Four. And Coach Moss bringing that energy, maybe toning it down a little bit to be more personable with the players, but also connect like with the community and with the entire organization. I don't know how he was before, but that's the biggest thing I've seen, and it's brought us more success. And obviously, we made it to the Grey Cup last year, didn't win, but we're gonna keep fighting, and not only for him, but for each other, because we know how important it is.
Hey, so I'm assuming you had a bracket. Did you have are you still in your bracket?
No.
You didn't do it?
No, I didn't do a bracket. Honestly, I'm definitely a sports fan. Basketball and football, more specifically. I like watching like good games and seeing, like when I think the biggest thing for basketball right now is when you turn on a game and you just start seeing, one team's better, one team's better coached. You can see it right away, and what the scores are like. So I caught like the last couple minutes of the UConn game because I was busy that day. But I've been watching most of the March Madness games. I didn't do a bracket. I don't like to put my hope get too much hope and then just ends up losing in the round of 32, a 16 seed with a 1 seed, and it's like
What did you think of the finish of that game, Duke?
That game, that was crazy, because you know how so many people had the expectations of Duke. Duke is such like a household name. They get love. They're blue blood. They get love every year. They their expectations are high. People, whether they watch basketball or not, want them to win just because of the history that they built. And in that game, you could obviously tell like UConn was down and they had to claw back. They really had to claw back. I think they were down like 44-25, and then even at the end to get some stops. And nothing against the Boozer twin, but it shows a little bit like in the moment in that
it's young guys.
It's young guys. It is young. It's like in that moment, anything can go wrong, but anything can go right too. And it's the basic things that you forget. I think that's why mental toughness is so important. It's so important because, I mean, we lost in the Grey Cup with fumble on the 2-yard line, and that's like we literally preached all year. To handle the ball well, chin the ball is what we call it. Because if you look back a year before that, the playoff game against Toronto, we lost the ball like 5 times. And then it's crazy to look the year before in 2023, we forced how many turnovers against Toronto to get to that game. So it's it's a testament to how important the small things are, and you never know when they're gonna affect you, because as players, every player is different, but they know like, okay, it's just I'll chin the ball. Of course I have to hold the ball, and then now it's like, of course I should I gotta make the right pass or make the right decision. You could dribble it out or whatever just to bring it back to basketball. It's like it's such a small detail and it costs them so much because you don't expect it. But the other team wants to win just as bad as you, and they'll do whatever it takes.
Exactly. Edmonton's Lwal Ugwok with us in studio, former Harry Ainley Titan, now defensive lineman for the Montreal Alouettes. And you guys have had good success. Again, you're so close last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that has to, when you look at your roster,
Right.
you're going, okay, we're going to be there. We got a good chance to get there again. So what do you think about your roster makeup going into this year?
I think we still got a good handful of our core guys that helped us win in 2023, but just going there and seeing how hard it is, because I'm not going to say 2023 was a fluke or anything, but it definitely caught us a little bit by surprise a little bit towards the end, because we had such a bumpy season that year. We won 6 games, lost like 3, and then we won 6 games. We were 6-3, and then we lost 6 straight after that.
You're like 6-9 or something.
Yeah, we were like 6-9, and we came and just swept. We won every other game, and like it was definitely a special run. Shout out Cody for leading that. But it's like you get to that point on your team where it's like, okay, now we've seen what it takes to win. We've won. Now we've seen what it takes to win. Now we've seen it again. We've been so close, and it's just getting over that hump to like become that full to have it all, if that makes sense. We had a good season. We have played complementary offense, defense throughout the year. Obviously, there's some things that will happen, but we're playing like a championship level team throughout the year and finishing strong. Saskatchewan did a good job of that. They had a great season, brought it into playoffs. They played smart football, didn't do too much, didn't do too little, and took advantage of what we gave them. In those big games, when you're prepping and you're hearing about, we can't let the mistakes from last year happen, it kind of like, you kind of not putting pressure on you, but there's a little bit of pressure there. And I think maybe we felt that pressure. We weren't tackling the best on defense in that game. We were not taking advantage of our opportunities. We had chances to get turnovers. We had chances to make big stops when we needed them, and we just couldn't do that. And I won't speak for the offensive side of the ball, but defensively, I think that's the biggest thing that kind of hurt us. And then coming out of halftime and giving up a touchdown, and like Saskatchewan controlled the game. I think Trevor Harris went like 25 for 28. He threw like 80% and accurate. And it wasn't nothing too much. It wasn't nothing too little. They were playing it, and they were running the ball pretty well too. So, it's just, I think they definitely deserved that win in that game, and we deserve to learn a lesson and to see how it affects us next year.
Well, we were talking a little bit before we came on here with, obviously basketball, and you say, football, basketball, but your brother or her, and again, I've been interviewing him since he was, 15 years old at Ainley, and so he's in Germany still.
Yeah, here's in Germany
basketball.
still. Yeah, he's with Chemnitz right now, coming off an injury, but definitely getting back to himself. He was having a really good season last year, and just seeing it here get hurt, it just kind of, it sucked. It sucked to see. It's a part of the game, but just like when things are going so right, and then you get an injury like that, season-ending injury, you kind of get in that you got to get your trust back as an athlete, but also as a human. It teaches you a lot on the human level, because you realize that it's just a game. But you can lose so much when everything feels right at any given time. Like, you just gotta respect the game, respect what it can do and what it can't do for you.
I think, what are we at? 30 years since your family emigrated from Sudan? Is it
1999?
Okay.
So around 30
It's
years.
coming, yeah. So maybe just touch on that. What, coming here, building a life, for you and your entire family.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Like, family moved here in 1999, and I was born in 2000. And like, you would have never thought that sports would have been, our outlet, at least for me and my brother, and just continuing to build that hope for my family and the kids that look like me, that immigrated from South Sudan, because there's a South Sudanese community in Edmonton. A lot of us have lived similar lives, and a lot of us were connected back in South Sudan, and just trying to find a better landscape and try to find a better place to live. And coming here and being a role model and seeing how my career has gone, and even just being like one of the few South Sudanese to even be in the CFL and play in the NFL and Division I. Like, there's like I've definitely been I feel like I've been a pioneer for a lot of things. I think I'm just, that's why I'm in this role right now, trying to give back to my community. I've been trying to just go visit as many kids and see how I can inspire them to really believe that they can go through so much and become successful from it.
So that's one of the reasons you're here,
Mhm.
this week. And as you said, you were home at Christmas as
Yeah.
well.
Uh-huh.
But you got camps coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
At Footfield, tell us all about
At
it.
Footfield. So I'm running a football camp. It's, goes by Born Winner. I'm also building a brand around it, just because the adversity that I've fought through in my life and being able to win with small opportunities. I kind of just brought that brought a name to it, and that's Born Winner, because it may seem like such a small thing, but it's actually true. Like anybody can win from no matter where they're from and no matter what they've gone through in life. All they need is the opportunity, and they can make that opportunity. They just got to believe that they can, because a lot of people have believed in me and put their hope in me, or put their faith in me, sorry, to get to where I'm at now, and I'm thriving from it. And I think the more people that can understand that on a connection level, to see that that I can connect with them, or they can connect with me and relate that they can do it too, is like that's all they really need. And that's something I wish I had when I was younger, more direct as a football player and as a South Sudanese kid. And I feel like just giving back to the communities is a big thing for me right now. So the camp is April 4th and 5th, and for that reason, April 4th we've opened it up for the community. The youth group that I used to go to when I was young is going to have a lot of kids there, and it's a shorter day, but just teaching them the game, but also putting them in a space where they can really feel inspired. I have one of my good friends from Seattle Seahawks played at UConn with me, Christian Haynes, the offensive guard. He's coming down to Edmonton because he believes in these kids and he believes in what I'm doing here. And he just won a Super Bowl, and he has gone through adversity in his career. He stayed at UConn for the 5 years, went through the coaching change, and got drafted in the 3rd round. And I used to butt heads with him every practice, every day, and we've become great friends off the field. And we've just built that connection to where he believes what I'm doing here, because he wants to also do that in his community back in Maryland when he goes home. So,
How many kids and what are the ages?
The ages for the first day, it's 18 and under. Day 2 is a little more of a competitive day, 12 to 18 ages. And we got high school kids, junior high kids. And we got around like 40 something kids right now. We want more if we can, but I think it might cap it off at around 60. But just putting these kids in that space to compete, but also see that like the game isn't just the game is it's bigger than the game. You know what I mean? Like there's people that really believe in them to do play this sport, but also in life, and just no matter where they're coming from. I also got Nurgat Kuth, who's in the draft process right now. He went to Wake Forest. He's an Edmonton kid who grew up alongside me playing football for the Chargers, and had a great season at Wake Forest. He's going to be there. Mandela Galley, who taught me how to play football. He went to AOB. We got a couple people, and it's just something that I've been trying to build for a while. And having these people alongside me and having my back when it comes to what I'm trying to build here in Edmonton, it's very important to me, because I know that that there's a football scene in Edmonton, but there's also like how many people have made it that far in Edmonton. Like when I was young. When I was younger, I didn't really see it that often. And then, Chuba obviously went.
Yes.
And then he helped me get my opportunity. And then obviously I feel like we've definitely opened up doors for the future, just seeing that it's possible. Obviously everybody like there's athletes that have built it themselves, but I feel like opening that door, even if it was a small glimmer of hope, like if I seen that, then I feel like I would have been more accustomed, more locked in earlier, or if that makes sense. But just, being that hope for kids that are young, and even some of them asking me questions like how were you able to build that mindset to look so far ahead, to believe that you were going to win? And like I kept asking myself that question even before this camp, and just came up with Born Winner. So that's where I'm at right now, just getting ready for this camp this weekend, and just excited to see all the happy faces that come through.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I asked you last time that you were in studio because, the NFL was still, a big thing. And you still,
exactly.
I'm sure you still think about it, dream about it. So what's your mindset with that moving forward here?
Honestly, I think the biggest difference between when I came last time and where I coming now is just being where my feet are and just, wherever the game, wherever I go, wherever I play. Like I'm in Montreal right now and I'm 100% for Montreal. I know that I'm going to keep developing as an athlete and as a player. And also I feel it right now in real time, growing mentally and maturing more. And, I just want to bring those aspects to my game and, just continue to continue to keep chipping away at being successful on and off the field. So yeah, I don't have my sights too far on the NFL. I'm looking at where I am right now, and that's with Montreal and just balling out for them and doing what I can to get back in the Grey Cup, but also develop as a player.
Am I missing anything with the camp? Maybe registration, something you want to add? Anything?
Yeah, so the Instagram page is bornwinner.hq. That's where I'm running most of the promotions and marketing stuff there. Bornwinner.hq. We have the Google Forms there to sign up. There's the QR codes. There's most of the main information you can find there. And if you want to DM or reach out to me if someone's trying to sign up their kid, or if it's if it's something that they're interested in, then they can definitely reach out. And I'm glad to put myself out there for these young kids in Edmonton who have the dream of playing football, and just to show them that if I could do it, they could do it as long as they believe they can, and they have that pursuit to really gain that born winner mentality.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, Lwal, excellent stuff. Thanks for coming in.
Of course.
Whatever it is after football, if you're going to get into business or coaching, you're going to be successful, man.
Thank
because you got it all going together here, and you've seen the big picture.
Yeah,
so
exactly. I appreciate that so much.
So thanks for coming in. Good luck with the camp, and if we get some people that want to, I'll just pass them on to the Instagram. So,
okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. That's Lwal Ugwok, Edmonton's own Harry Ainley to Montreal with stops at UConn and TCU in between. And he's got a camp this weekend, Saturday and Sunday at Foot Field. He's got a bunch of guys that are going to be helping him out with this camp. And again, you send us a note to our text line, 833-401-1440 for kids under the age of 18. If you want to do some football this weekend, this is the place to be. When we come back, we'll have a quick little segment before we get to in or out. We got Cam Tate's Cam and Eggs at the top of the hour, and then the con man, Connor Halley, coming up at 10:20. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, healing doesn't have to feel heavy, because in our SwimX aquatic therapy pools, you literally float your way to recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, back pain, joint injuries, post-surgical rehab, chronic pain, balance issues, mobility challenges, or just feeling a little creaky, warm water and gentle resistance have your back, your knees, and your hips. Trusted by pro sports teams and rehab hospitals, our SwimX pools help you move sooner, hurt less, and recover faster. So take the load off. Let the water do the work. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
For the first time in 66 years, Golden Bears and Pandas hockey are on the move. During the 2026-27 Canada West season, 2 of the most successful hockey programs in U Sports history will call Silent Ice Center in Nisku their temporary home. The Golden Bears and Pandas are excited to connect with the South Edmonton community and welcome new fans to experience the tradition and excitement of U of A hockey. Same tradition, new temporary home. Golden Bears and Pandas hockey at Silent Ice Center for the 26-27 season.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value for a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Why should you drive a Subaru? How about durability, style, and an excellent customer experience from the moment you step into the showroom? And how about accolades, including awards for numerous 2026 Subaru models from both AutoTrader and JD Power? But don't just take my word for it. Take a test drive and you'll see why the Subaru name is recognized and renowned for quality. To learn more, visit Subaru.ca. Welcome to Uncommon. Welcome to Subaru.
The Karius Show, breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams, even though his favorite Junior A hockey team is the Yorkton Terriers. Thanks for checking in with Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 9:35 in Edmonton. Quick little segment here before we get to in or out after the break. I have to get to this email. It's quite disturbing.
You've left me on pins and needles for the last hour here, Kev. My goodness.
I'm telling you that
I'm waiting with bated breath.
It is very disturbing.
Oh boy.
Dear Kevin, longtime listener, first time emailer. I'm just reaching out to you because of your coworker, Brandon Douglas. With 7 minutes and 8 seconds left in the game last night, Mr. Douglas took an egregious penalty. This was the turning point of the match and the series. Mr. Douglas's team, the Tropics, never mentally recovered. They never scored again after the selfish penalty. The reason I am emailing you today is to make sure that Mr. Douglas is okay. He let his entire team down, and more importantly, he let himself down. I just want to make sure that he's doing all right. I know he is feeling down and taking his team's devastating loss on his own shoulders. Kevin, could you give him a reassuring hug? If you could throw in a couple of backslaps too. A hug from Kevin Karius might just be enough to turn Mr. Douglas's frown upside down. Thinking of Brandon, a concerned listener.
That's the only signature on it, is a concerned listener.
A concerned listener.
Well, listen, I don't want to out whoever sent this concerned listener email. I'm interested to hear off air what the email address is that sent this to you.
Do you want me to say it?
No, you don't. They don't have to say it on air, but it's listen. Did I take a penalty last night in the third period? Yes. Was it a coincidental penalty so we remained 5-on-5? Also, yes. Now, listen, I'm an all right player. I'm pretty good, but we had 16 guys there last night. Me taking a quick 2 minutes, I didn't really think buried us. This listener, which I have to think comes in the form of one of my teammates, maybe disagrees. And if that is the case, I'm sorry I let you guys down. I always anytime we lose, I always bear the loss on my shoulders. I always think I can do more. Like I said off the top, though, Kev, right? This is a 1-1 hockey game. In a beer league.
So there was a penalty, and then you took the next penalty to make it coincidental?
No, it was like this guy and I were kind of I was in the D zone. I was battling with him in front of the net. He kind of spun, tried to do a swim move around me to get to the back door and elbow me right in the jaw, which was not a pending penalty. So, and as we were going back up ice, I gave him another shot. He kind of gave me another shot, and we both sat down for 2.
Attica texts in, only someone from Delburne would do something like this.
Well, I doubt it's someone from Delburne because they wouldn't have been there.
I think he's talking about you.
Oh, right. Fair. The only other possible situation I could see here, if this isn't one of my actual teammates emailing this in on the Tropics, is that there is somebody out there who is borderline obsessed with me that is checking just the box score of the Tropics games on the CCRHL website.
No.
And just sees that we were tied 1-1 and that I took, like, because penalties are on there. It's like a full game sheet. And that's their interpretation of this. That could, I think that's less likely, but it is still possible.
A very alarming email, Duke. Egregious penalty.
So are you going to give me a hug later? Or?
I don't know. No.
Oh.
I'll let Josh can give you a hug. He's closer to you over there.
What about a reassuring pat on the back?
Yeah. You know, it's a very well-worded email.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
well-written,
why
well-worded.
That's why I'm questioning if it was somebody from the team that did it.
Wow, for sure.
I don't know.
There's no
there's some
question about
well-educated guys on that team, but
will you be
none
able
of them
to,
are exactly wordsmiths.
Will you be able to, like, once I tell you the email, will you be able to figure it out who it
I
is?
think there's a good chance, but maybe they.
You have a guess.
I also think that they're, like, knowing the guys that I play with, they could have very well made a burner email address just to send this to you. Which is funny. Hey, I get it, and I'm sorry I let my team down in that moment. I
love how it's Mr. Duck. Like,
the
it's
boys
like
went 0 for 6 in the shootout,
but it's written like, you know how they do it in the NHL. Mr. So and so did
right?
this,
Yeah,
Mr.
the Department of Player Safety type thing.
Well, poor Duke. Well, we'll figure it out.
I'll get by. I will survive. I admittedly didn't lose any sleep over it last night, but I was pretty tired by the time I got home.
James texts in and says, KK, it's his mom.
No.
LOL, James. Was she there watching?
My mom?
Yeah.
No.
Probably.
I
She's probably
couldn't-
watching the video feed.
I'm not sure I could tell you the last time my mom watched me play a game of hockey. They don't, like, my family doesn't even. I was playing in Delburne all weekend. Not a single member of my family member came to a game, and that's fine. I don't want them to.
The rig says, did Laddie send that email?
It would not have been as kindly worded if it was Laddie. It would have been much more incriminating.
That's just terrible. Okay. Well, we'll let you know what the email is during the commercial break. When we come back, we're going to go in or out with the Duke of Delburne. If he's going to be okay to handle this, we'll see. On the Kevin Karius Show, Josh Fenwick here as well on Sports 1440 AM Radio. Presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Exciting news from St. Albert Dodge. The all-new 2026 Jeep Gladiator Sport packages have arrived. They have a great selection and a bunch of colors to choose from. And if you've checked out the Sport, you know it comes in some fun colors. Rugged capability, practical off-road features, and you can get behind the wheel for as low as $49,900. That's right. Put yourself in a brand new Jeep Gladiator Sport for less than $50,000. What more can you ask for? Time to head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
At GS Construction, every winter plan becomes a spring project. Every repaired line and every improved system is how we build the next chapter of Edmonton's infrastructure. And we can't do that without the best and the brightest in the field. That's why right now, GS Construction is looking to hire experienced top men, pipe layers, and operators who can step in and hit the ground running. With a people-first mentality, career growth, and comprehensive benefits, why would you want to work anywhere else? To apply, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
It's Truck Month at Wolf GMC Buick, and we know trucks. And we have the best deals of the year right now. Some have 0% for 4 years. We have 0% for 6 years. That's on our #1 selling GMC Sierra half-ton crew cab, or the Elevation, the AT4, or Denali. Yep, 0% for 72 months. And Costco members get an extra discount on some of our SUVs. Pop in today and drive away smiling. Wolf GMC Buick.
we're making it easy.
Legacy Heating and Cooling offers no payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. So, when you wake up to no heat, call Legacy. Call Legacy. If you need it immediately with no overtime rates. If you need it immediately and want to combo it with AC. Call Legacy. Call Legacy. No payments and no interest for 1 year on your new furnace. It could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident, more than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
Fast track your financial goals with a special rate term deposit from Vision Credit Union. For a limited time, take advantage of a great rate on 1, 3, or 5-year terms. Plus, as a Vision Credit Union member, you can earn up to 25% more on your interest through profit shares. For details, contact your branch today or visit visioncu.ca. That's visioncu.ca.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 946 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here on Sports 1440 AM Radio, presented by Sports Select. Time now for In or Out, brought to you by Pro Solutions. If you need fast air conditioning service, Pro Solutions offers expert repairs, tune-ups, even installs with flexible financing. Book your appointment now at prosolutionsinc.ca.
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or are you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke, let her buck.
Very quickly, as an aside, while we're just sticking on the amateur hockey talk, yesterday's discussion about the Stettler Imperials celebrations and ECSHL championship in the Senior A League, my brother-in-law, who was, as I dogged a little bit, talking about getting dressed to go for the championship celebrations on the ice, despite being not playing, he caught wind of it. He texted me and said, "Thanks for absolutely burying me on live radio." I said, "You're welcome." Said, "Think about your actions next time."
That's right.
Yeah. It's game day for the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Seattle Kraken tonight at Rogers Place. So the team's power play just 1 for 17 since Leon Draisaitl's injury against Nashville. I'm looking at the power play, the man advantage, as the prime area of focus tonight against Seattle's 31st ranked penalty kill.
Well, for sure. You know what, Duke, and we said this last week too. Win or draw, 1 or 2 passes.
Work the puck to the net.
Evan Bouchard shot on goal. And figure it out after that. And if he's got to blast a few at some potential shot blockers, that happens too. Just get it to the net. You could even, to be honest with you, Duke, depending on who, because they've moved it around. They've tried a few different things. They've had put Coles in, where Leon is. They've moved Brian Nugent-Hopkins over there. They've had Savoy on the other side. Sometimes when the power play doesn't work, Duke, there's an old coach that used to just throw two guys in front of the net. Throw the two guys there, get the shot on, and maybe you can snipe a garbage goal or something. But with this penalty kill by Seattle, as you said, 31st, and it is operating, Duke. I had it written down right here at 73.4%. Try to get one or two tonight. But here's the other thing, too. When you think about it, since Leon's gone down, there's been a lot of, they had 0 power plays one game, 1 or 2. It's not like they're getting 4 or 5 a game here. So, but I'm in with you. Yeah.
So just to stick with the personnel thing, you talk about maybe simplifying it. And we know the Oilers, even at 5-on-5, at times have a tendency to try and pass the puck into the net, looking for the highlight reel score rather than keeping it simple. So do you think that putting different personnel on this top unit, and it's obviously only a replacement of one guy in the absence of Draisaitl, do you think that can be conducive towards that, or do you think it is more just a mindset thing regardless of who's on the ice?
Well, I think that they still want to, when you have Connor, especially with his ability to work the perimeter, and how many times do you see either a give and go with Evan Bouchard or something at the top where there's almost like a reverse?
Yeah.
So we see that quite often. So maybe that's the mindset that has to change a little bit and just get the puck on net, as we said. And if Bouchard's going to hit a few guys out front, so be it. I don't mean Oiler guys.
Ideally, not his teammates,
yes.
And we know that does happen. Zach Hyman knows it better than anybody.
It's funny, like what happened the very first game? Was it the first power play where Ryan Nugent scored where Leon is?
Yeah.
Short side.
Yeah.
I mean, and what was everyone's line? Oh, who needs Leon? And of course everyone's joking.
Yeah.
But that was, and I don't really recall a similar setup to head down to Nugent-Hopkins on that side in the unsuccessful power plays here. I still like where Savoy or Roslovic is with the right-handed shot where Nugent-Hopkins used to be on the other side. So I think they just got to get into a shot-first mentality.
Yeah. Seattle themselves, they come in just 2 points out of a playoff spot. A couple games in hand in their pocket in their chase as well. Of the current Western Conference bubble teams, I'm ranking them at second to just San Jose on, call it a fun factor of teams that we want to see grab that final wildcard berth.
What about the Winnipeg Jets, Duke?
No.
Come on now.
Gone out.
Well, I have to say Winnipeg because
you're still on that.
Well, I mean, they're a long shot here. They're at 74 points.
It's only 3 points, Kevin. The unfortunate part is there's 4 teams or 3 teams in between them in Nashville right now.
That was massive that the Blues didn't get a point last night.
Yeah, very much so. And it equally is big for San Jose, obviously, to keep themselves just 2 points back.
And I know what you're saying here because you call the way the LA Kings play a boring brand of hockey with 18
loser
overtime
points.
Yeah, loser points. 18. They got 29 wins. So
Vegas has 16.
I know. It's just unreal. Yeah, I'm going to be out just because I want Winnipeg to
But is San Jose number one for you, or do you think Winnipeg takes it number one just because of your vested interest?
I would say San Jose is 1, then Winnipeg 2, and then Seattle 3.
I mean, Macklin Celebrini, he breaks the 100-point barrier last night, first time in his career. It just continues a remarkable season. The fanfare has maybe faded a little bit here post-Olympics just because of the surge of McDavid and Kucherov of the scoring race, and McKinnon, of course, keeping pace there as well, and the Sharks falling out of a playoff spot. But I'm still right there, Kev, that if the Sharks can find their way to squeeze in, they're not going to be an easy out, even if it is the Colorado Avalanche, because they're young, they're fun, they're almost a little bit naive, like you don't even know what you're doing, you're just there having fun doing it. And a couple veterans on the back end, sure, which it's not necessarily a strength of them. I would love to see the Sharks get in, and I think the Kraken are right there behind them because they don't necessarily play an exciting style, but I like a lot of the storylines that are rolling along.
Jets have the Blackhawks tonight, Duke. Have to win.
Sure.
If they win that game, they are a point out.
All you got to do is give yourself a chance, Kev. Win, take care of your business and hope that maybe you catch a few breaks elsewhere on the out-of-town scoreboard.
Blair will just be, man, he's going to be fired up if this happens.
Kevin, we've already talked about this, but if you manage in one season to go 2 for 2 on a couple exceptionally bold predictions of the Panthers missing the playoffs, which is already a check mark in your ledger.
What would you call those the futures then? So if you would have bet on that at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, I couldn't even guess what the price would have been if you you obviously wouldn't have been able to put them together because they happened at different instances, but the Panthers to miss the playoffs at the start of the year certainly would have been a pretty good price. And then when you're talking about the Jets in, what was it, third last place in the conference.
I think they were second last. I don't even know.
To say they're going to come back and grab a playoff spot. Yeah, I think you would have been pretty handsomely rewarded for that wager as well. Out east, Toronto Maple Leafs making waves last night, firing general manager Brad Treliving just, about 15, 20 minutes before puck drop in Anaheim. Craig Berube, the head coach, his job now, of course, in question. And Kev, I don't know what this is. You can feel free to call me an absolute dummy here. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that he will also be let go.
So is that because of, when I brought up, Armstrong going in there, there's a history between Armstrong and Berube.
I think that plays a role. And as Frank said, and I kind of had this before you and Frank chatted this morning as one of my topics to discuss today, but it's just a matter of if they wanted to fire him, wouldn't they have already? And I get it, they don't have a new GM yet, but do you really think if you're trying to go full clean house in Treliving, this is only a second head coach, right? And usually, and again, there's more than goes into it than just team success. It's the way it's built on and on. List the reasons why Treliving was fired, which is a little bit head scratching this time of year in and of itself. All that to say, I think the Doug Armstrong factor as a strong candidate for this job absolutely plays a role here.
The other thing too is I don't know what other GM is out there that would be comfortable
going into this,
taking this job,
this much mess, this much spotlight.
You know what, Storm?
Yeah.
Maybe there's, I just don't see it. I read something last night, Duke, about the capologist in Toronto.
Okay. Like their in-house guy.
Their in-house guy. So he's like assistant GM. Never heard of him before. I don't see him being the guy that is going to be making the decisions as a GM here. I just it's a mess. It's an absolute mess moving forward here. And maybe the only guy that has the wherewithal and the experience is a guy like Doug Armstrong. Is this something you want right now in your life?
Well, I kind of thought originally when Doug Armstrong made the announcement that, Alex Steen is going to take over after this season. And was that last spring they made, it was the season was still going, was it not, when they made that announcement? I kind of thought that would be the point for Doug Armstrong, that he kind of rides off into the sunset. I'm sure he was hoping that it would be with another Olympic gold medal around his neck as GM of Team Canada. It's a silver instead. But this is a guy that doesn't really have anything left to prove in the game. And he's not a young guy. Not very many general managers are, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. Originally, I thought this was all pushing towards Doug Armstrong's retirement. But the more you hear, the more the boat keeps rocking. It does seem like he's probably going to get another job somewhere else.
The only other, and I don't know if he wants this job either. Do you think Chris Pronger would be a guy with no experience, none, zip, to take over a team like this and be able, because we all know what kind of personality Pronger is.
Yeah.
He has the ability to tell everyone to go screw themselves and not have a problem with it. So maybe that's a guy.
What is Pelly's official title? Is he just CEO of MLSE?
Yes.
So
president of MLSE.
So in this circumstance that they do decide to try and turn over a new leaf, and let's just use Pronger as the example here, do they also hire a more experienced president of hockey operations?
Well, that's kind of how they had it before. And then even Pelly said he wanted to work closer with Brendan Shanahan, and ends up to be that he fires Shanahan. So maybe there's a dual, like you say, you have a dual role like this. They could go to London. Maybe they go to Mark Hunter.
Hunter.
I don't know.
We will see, and it is certainly an interesting storyline to keep tabs on in the center of the hockey universe out in the six. In the game last night itself, Toronto out to make Radko Gudas, Anaheim's captain, answer the bell for his knee on Austin Matthews a couple weeks ago that ended up knocking the Leafs captain out for the season. Listen, you can hate Radko Gudas as much as you want. He's got a reputation. He's a physical player. At times, I think a dirty player is a fair aspersion to cast on him. I'm not his biggest fan on really any element, but I think you have to give the guy credit. He deserves some credit for suiting up last night. He's not at 100%. The team has other bodies they could play as they make this playoff push. I think he deserves a lot of credit for going out there and answering the bell, especially because if he doesn't, what happens in that game? Maybe it's repercussions to guys like Beckett Seneca, Cutter Gauthier, Leo Carlson.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% in, and I disagree with Frank when he was talking about how the code taking a number and how it was several weeks after. It was always, even though it was wrong for the Leafs not to have any response
in the moment.
The game, this was going to happen, and you knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
So, the other thing I was thinking, Duke, and like I don't know how tough that Pizzetta guy is.
It's kind of like it's what he's known for.
Yeah,
is a scrapper.
I mean, Pizzetta. Okay, so you're in the room. It's not even in the room. You're talking about this for 2 weeks or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're listening to your core group and Max Domi, listen, he's like his dad was tough as nails.
Yeah.
Max Domi's he's tough. He's not as tough as his old man was, but like just picture like I'm just thinking, what if they had Olivier on the team? Like a legit
heavyweight
guy that would really pound the snot out of Gudas. Does he get that? Do they go, yeah, you're taking him. You can have him. Because obviously Max Domi wanted this because he's an older player and he wants to, like, there's almost like a firing line, right? Like a stepping stone of who gets whom, who gets whatever.
Well, yeah, I'm sure after let's be frank. Like, I mean, the Maple Leafs were embarrassed as a collection of players after that, after there was no response to the initial hit. And so I have to think there was a pretty big queue of guys that were...
Well, they were all on the ice to start, too.
Chomping at the bit to say, I'm going to fight Radko Gudas.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I'm going to do it. No, I'm going to do it. So then everybody wants to get their licks because none of them had the stones to do it in real time.
Yeah. Like, who'd they start? So they started Pizzetta, they started Domi, they started what's his nuts?
I'm just trying to bring up the game center here quick to see if I can see who was the starting lineup.
They were all tough guys. They all started.
Okay.
They all started. They were all out of position, different lines. They all started. So I mean, you knew it was just a matter of who was going to say I want him first.
Lastly, it is springtime. We already know that after the first day on March the 20th. But despite what the weather, the temperatures continue to try and convince us otherwise. On my drive in this morning, Kevin, I was blessed with a really positive development at 6:15 in the morning. The glow over the eastern specky, listening eastern horizon, is getting warmer and warmer, and even having a touch of pink to it now. I think besides actual temperatures rising, which is the obvious thing here, besides the temperatures, the most encouraging sign of spring is starting and eventually seeing the sunrise on your way into work.
Oh, for sure. When I got up, Duke, I looked out the window and I'm still waiting to see it. Once I crawl out of the rack, it's too early yet, but probably another couple of weeks, we'll start to see that little glimmer. It wasn't, I told you when I drove in, there was the perfect orange moon right over the white.
Yeah, over the other side.
6 bells.
Spec probably thought that was the sun. Oh, the sun's already up. Look at it. Beautiful orange glow.
Unbelievable. And you say that's so a full moon is tonight?
I would get, when I was looking at it this morning, it didn't look quite full. It might have just been a one final waxing gibbous phase before full moon tonight. But I think my phone can tell me that information.
This is close for me, Duke, because you know how the tarp's off in the neighborhood with the
temperatures. Boy, I'm sure they're jonesing for it, Kev, all the locals.
Well, like you say, the women out in the stoops, age 20 to 35. What are you talking about, dude? You're sitting out there. They're
It's
waiting.
it's appointment viewing for them on a weekday afternoon. They know what time Kevin gets home from the show.
Yeah, and they know I'm going to go for the run here in the summertime.
They're
and they'll
out
be
there in their rocking chairs on the front
Oh,
step
or
and
driving around.
knitting maybe.
No.
Do you get any cat calls, Kevin? Some
yeah, well,
whistling?
yeah, absolutely. It happens quite frequently.
Okay.
Hey, Kyle says too, I like the fact that it's light out at 8:30 still.
And so that's always the trade-off, right? When we talk about daylight savings is all of a sudden when we were very close to starting to see the sunrise, now rewind it and you're kind of starting over another hour behind. But it is late in the or nice and light in the evening still. We haven't got much of a chance to enjoy that fact because the weather has been miserable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's another big element for sure.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait, Duke. Oh, how about this? MTR says, and I don't know if I believe this. Josh Clausen said golf by mid-April, boys. Okay, that's 2 weeks away, man. Like, I don't see it happening. Do you? Not a chance.
I could see some driving ranges open.
Yeah. We're not golfing by
So
April 15th.
now that the tropics are done after my egregious selfish play last night, blame all on my shoulders. I'm thinking these next couple weeks, I might just be making some very regular drives out to old Chucky Slicks and really pound the golf sim for a few weeks to get my game in mid-season form.
So why don't you come and play on Thursday?
I'm going
the last game of the year. Come play Thursday.
Kevin,
we don't work Friday.
I threw my skates away last night after we were done. I threw them in the bin, chucked them.
No. RBS says it's 10 degrees next Tuesday. Golf in 2 weeks. Book it. So you're saying April 15th. I just don't know. Like, there's so much snow out there still. I don't know when tarps would be coming off. I'm talking about golf tarps, Duke. See? Get your mind out of the gutter. Habman says cat calls, more like dog calls. RBS is not for the Belvedere. We open late always, but most courses. You might get like a Mill Woods. They're one of the first ones. The ranch is up there, but I think they're probably looking at the third week, April 20th, 22 maybe. So a week later, we'll see. They always have a thing, Duke, where if you can pick the day where golf season starts, you get a free round of golf. Hey, coming up shortly after the break, another edition of Cam and Eggs. Cam Tate taking care of business with his second edition here on the morning show. And we got the con man at 10:20. Text 833-401-1440. We'll get to them when we come back as well. Time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. Get the home team advantage for your next move in the Edmonton area. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. That is 780-265-0165. Here is the Duke.
The Sports 1440 update.
Game day for the Edmonton Oilers is there at home, taking on the Seattle Kraken tonight from Rogers Place. Puck drop coming just after 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage starting right here on Sports 1440 at 6. Around the rest of the NHL, 9 of the games, including many with playoff implications. The Bruins hosting the Stars. Islanders in Buffalo. Lightning playing the Habs. Panthers up against the Senators. Red Wings in Pittsburgh. Caps host the Flyers. Hurricanes in Columbus. Blackhawks host the Jets. And the Rangers hosting the Devils at MSG. In the PWHL this evening, lone game on the schedule. WHL playoffs continuing, as well as the Edmonton Oil Kings are in Saskatoon for Game 3 of their first-round playoff matchup. Series currently tied at 1. That one getting underway just after 7 o'clock. And the Alberta Junior Hockey League playoffs first round. Camrose Kodiaks Game 7 in Drumheller against the Dragons. That one underway also at 7. In the association, 7 games this evening. Toronto in Detroit against the first-place Pistons for a 6 o'clock tip-off. Elsewhere, Lakers hosting Cleveland, and Phoenix is in Orlando. And another full set of games in the major leagues. Blue Jays continue their set against the Colorado Rockies. Max Scherzer making his first start of the season. First pitch there just after 5 o'clock. Coming up In hour 4 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll hear another edition of Cam and Eggs with Cam Tate, and we'll be joined by Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station.
CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Welcome to Silent Ice Center, the region's newest hockey and event center in Nisku. Featuring 2 NHL-size ice surfaces, premium seating, private suites, and an electric atmosphere. From elite hockey to major tournaments, concerts, and special events, this is where the action lives. And with Summit Restaurant overlooking the ring, every event is a full experience. Silent Ice Center, built for champions, built for the community. Book your ice, your event, or your next big night at Silent Ice Center. Email booking at silenticecenter.com.
Mr. Rooter kinda speaks French. Je m'appelle Monsieur Rooter. Je suis plombier.
Très bien, Mr. Rooter. Your name is Mr. Rooter, and you are in fact a plombier, a plumber. You are an excellent student.
Au contraire, mon frère, je suis un excellent étudiant. Also, I'm not here for a French lesson. I'm here because someone clogged up the toilets.
Ah, oui, right this way.
For a plumber who speaks your language, call Mr. Rooter.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you?
Who, me? No way. I swear.
Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Nothing beats getting a deal at McDonald's. Why? Because you get a deal now.
And a deal later.
Redeem an offer from the latest mailer or on the McDonald's app and dig into instant savings. Plus, you earn points towards
free McDonald's.
Now that's what I call
a double whammy of deals.
Why does that keep happening? Deals sent right to your door. Check your mailbox for the latest McDonald's mailer loaded with delicious value. For a limited time at participating restaurants in Western Canada.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
You're listening to Sports 1440 and watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
Sports 24/7. We are Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:12 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius shows presented by Sports Select. Got the QR code. Also have the paper selection slips. Just go to your local lotto spot retailer. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Hey, there's a news conference, a media availability for Thursday. It's going to be right when we're on the show. Let's see how we can kind of maneuver around this, not to have the news conference or the media availability, but it's going to be about international rugby returning to Edmonton, and it's going to be this July. So it's the World Rugby Nations Cup. So they've got a pretty big news conference slated for Thursday morning, at 10 o'clock, 10:30, I guess it would be, down at the Commonwealth Community Rec Center. They'll have Gareth Rees, longtime Rugby Canada guy, Austin Creighton from the men's rugby team. We've got Alberta rugby, Canadian rugby, representatives from the city, et cetera, et cetera. So, rugby is so popular in Edmonton. There's so many great teams, and it is very well followed for sure, too. It doesn't get maybe some of the respect it deserves from, when you compare it to the other sports like hockey, et cetera, and like that. But I mean, there's a lot of people that really follow and love rugby in our city, and maybe we'll see what we can do. We don't have a show Friday, so we wouldn't be able to get anybody on Friday, but maybe we'll look at something on Monday with someone from Rugby Canada or something like that. Hey, time now for another edition of Cam and Eggs, our good buddy, Cam Tate. You know him, you love him, you can't live without him. It was his inaugural Cam and Eggs yesterday, and what this is a little bit of a preview for Jason Gregor's 2-minute warning in the afternoon, but it also gives Cam a little more of a platform, a little more exposure. He's been writing for 50 years and been a big part of the Edmonton media for a long, long time. But now, obviously, he's doing some work on Sports 1440, and here is another edition of Cam and Eggs.
So how do you want your eggs today? Over easy, sunny side up, or served with a pink slip like an NHL head coach or GM? The chopping block's busier than a Tim Hortons drive-thru in January. Sunday, Bruce Cassidy got the Vegas boot. Hope he took a slot machine as a parting gift. Monday, Brad Treliving passed on dessert, packed faster than the Leafs in round 1, and hailed the moving van. 2 days, 2 big names sent packing quicker than a Zamboni in a snowstorm. So who's getting tossed from the NHL breakfast buffet next? Is Chris Knobloch already Googling resume templates? Le King's GM, Ken Holland nervously checking LinkedIn between periods. In Ottawa, is Travis Green sweating like it's OT? Or has Craig Conroy in Calgary hidden under his desk with a fake mustache and a name tag that says, "Not me"? I mean, does Sports Select have odds on which coach will be next to replace their nameplate with a live, laugh, unemployed sign? Oilers on the ice today, 10:30, for the big morning skate before tonight's game against the, say it with me one time, the Seattle Krakens. Like that there, Duke? The Seattle Krakens. Morning skates are interesting, especially in the media circle. We always look for the reporter who hasn't made it home yet. And always remember, Tuesday ain't so bad. Means we've survived Monday. Cam's call. Oilers 5-2 tonight over the bluest sky you've ever seen in Seattle. Perry Como, 1969. There you go. If I'm not fired, we'll be back tomorrow. This is Cam Tate, Sports 1440. Hey, Ben, my email is cam@sports1440. CA.
Did he call me Bev? Was that
Bev?
Bev?
That might be your new nickname that I call
Bev.
you, like how you give everybody absurd nicknames. I'm gonna start calling you Bev. Sorry,
I don't know.
Cam just to put a little note on the email, and he sent me a day. Cam@sports1440.ca.
Yes.
Obviously, they didn't have the dot there in the end of his Cam and Eggs, but yeah, Cam@sports1440.ca. If you want to reach out to Cam, or you have an idea for a 2-minute morning or anything like that, he's always happy to take your correspondence.
So several times during that piece there was the cracking of the eggs, like a sound effect. So how does he do that? Like you just
Kevin, have you worked in media for 35
I know, but I mean,
years.
well, it's not like he's got an 8-track machine in there.
No, but I'm sure like there's a whole library on this great new invention called the internet where you can just get sound effects.
Never even heard of it.
So yeah, you just put in like egg cracking and then it would invent it, or you download it and you just insert it into your audio file wherever you want to put it. And Cam, a couple good Krakens in there.
And he said, Duke, he said to you, the Krakens.
The Krakens, the Seattle Krakens.
It's like that commercial. Let's get cracking.
Let's get cracking. Canadian eggs.
Let's get cracking. When we come back, the con man, Connor Halley, will join us. We'll talk a little. Well, we got, our baseball was one day in Fantasy Frenzy baseball, and we're coming down to the wire in hockey for sure. And we'll touch on the NFL a little bit. Apparently, maybe Aaron Rodgers is getting closer to making an announcement. That's straight ahead on the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick, on Sports 1440 AM radio, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at edmontonexpocentre.com today.
Spring into savings at The Brick. Refresh your home with huge discounts. Save up to $1,800 on sofas and sectionals. And buy more, save more, up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. Dreaming of better sleep? Upgrade your mattress game and save up to 40% off select mattresses and score free delivery when you use your Flexity card. Plus, save 15% when you buy 2 or more select major kitchen appliances. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, proudly Canadian since 1971.
Getting your vehicle sparkling clean doesn't have to cost a fortune. Take it into Hughes today and pay just loonies a wash.
Find us at hughescarwash.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. We're the #1 dealer in the world. Just kidding. If we were, would you care? We're the #1 dealer in Canada. Still kidding. You probably still don't care. Tell you what you will care about, our March Madness sale going on right now. Discounts up to $30,000. And the grand opening of our Autoplex, a massive indoor showroom. No self-proclaimed titles, no iPads, no trips to Vegas or hockey jerseys, just a really good deal. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
One app, triple the action. Play Alberta is proof that good things do come in threes. Whether you're into playing any of our exciting casino games, betting on your favorite professional sports teams from around the world, or buying into Canada's biggest lotteries, Play Alberta is the province's only app to do it all. Download today and discover a new way to play.
Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
CTV Sundays. Television's most captivating love story continues on Sullivan's Crossing.
It's hard to focus on the present when you're still looking at the past.
But the road ahead takes an unexpected turn.
I thought you'd mentioned being married before.
A lot's changed since then.
Morgan Cohan and Chad Michael Murray in the drama that asks, is true love enough? An all-new Sullivan's Crossing, Sundays on CTV. Stream next day on Crave.
It's happened again, and construction season is coming soon. Job delayed, money lost, and clients disappointed because your rigging failed and it wasn't inspected. Don't let this happen to you. Have your lifting slings, fittings, hoisting tools, and safety harnesses checked with Titan Supply. Titan Supply offers certified on-site and in-house rigging inspections and service, so they can repair it, replace it, and recertify it. Titan Supply in Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Red Deer, and Calgary, and at titansupply.ca. Lift, dig, haul.
This ad is presented by the United Conservative Caucus. The new Alberta-Ottawa energy deal will significantly expand Alberta's oil and gas production and create thousands of jobs, thanks to the leadership of Alberta's United Conservative MLAs. The consumer carbon tax is gone, the oil and gas production cap is eliminated, and the net zero electricity regulations are over. Let's keep Alberta strong and free. Visit unitedconservativecaucus.ca/surveys. Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
Program 1023 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick with you here. As we welcome in Connor Halley, the con man from Fantasy Frenzy, Jason Greger Show. Good morning, con man.
Good morning, Kevin.
So you added a little bit. We had an email come in talking about our dear friend, Brandon Douglas, the Duke. And
Yeah.
you walked into the studio and you enlightened us with some information.
Well, I got just a random tip because Brandon thought it was someone on his team.
Yes.
I heard it wasn't. From a pretty good source. Connor
source.
Halley, Beer League Insider. That, yes, this is a C5, that this was not from a Tropic. It was from someone else that was in attendance at the game.
So
they basically said, from what I've heard, like J.R. Smith, the Red Sox, Bill Buckner.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Douglas.
I see.
Like it's right up at that level.
So let me just enlighten you
Yeah, I
with
want to hear
this
this
email. Dear Kevin, longtime listener, first-time emailer. I'm just reaching out to you because of your coworker, Brandon Douglas. With 7 minutes, 8 seconds left in the game last night, Mr. Douglas took an egregious penalty. This was the turning point of the match and the series. Mr. Douglas's team, the Tropics, never mentally recovered. They never scored again after the selfish penalty. The reason I am emailing you today is to make sure that Mr. Douglas is okay. He let his entire team down, and more importantly, he let himself down. I just want to make sure that he's doing all right. I know he's feeling down and taking his team's devastating loss on his own shoulders. Can you give him a reassuring hug? If you could throw a couple of back slaps into a hug from Kevin Karius might just be enough to turn Mr. Douglas's frown upside down, thinking of Brandon, a concerned listener.
What was the penalty, Duke? It's coincidentals. Like that's what I don't get about though. This it was coincidental penalties. It was 5-on-5 afterwards. And as I said to Kevin and Josh, if my team with 16 guys there last night, biggest turnout of the season, were that distraught at me, this bag of milk, taking a 2-minute coincidental penalty, we got bigger problems. Now you're taking shots at the team. Yeah. At my team? No, it's a shot at myself.
See how he explained it.
The team can get by just fine without me.
To me, it could have been just a single penalty called.
Nope. On
the
dude. Should have been on,
No, on
the
opposition.
opposition. No, it should have been on them, if anything. So he goaded you into it then?
Yeah.
A little bit. But I made sure he got one too, so
That's fair.
Keep him evened up.
Gruff just sent a big hug to you, Duke.
Well, I'm glad I asked after Kevin read this earlier. I asked him. I said, Kevin, sir, are you going to give me a hug? He says, no chance.
I said, Josh can do it. He's closer. He's over there.
Maybe a back tap. Said he wouldn't even do that.
But the season's over, and now he's packed it in.
He's in off-season mode. He probably did that intentionally.
Treated.
And the
threw the
season.
game.
Yeah. I threw the game by taking a coincidental Always penalty. can't handle me taking a penalty and then just went out there and did it. He probably actually wanted it to be a penalty on just him.
Riggs says, solution's easy, Duke. You had too many guys. Who plays with 16 players?
That's a good lineup, yeah.
That's
Well,
too many
and
guys.
it was looking perfect. We were gonna have 3 lines and 4D, and then we had a guy get kicked out. They same thing. One guy from each team got booted for like a little scuffle, maybe 5 minutes into the game. Threw our entire lineup out of
best.
simpatico, and that wasn't even me. So, do we throw him under the bus? No, who was it? No, it's Luke Gilmore. He's a legend.
Connor Halley here with us in the Sports 1440 studios. It's a little slower NFL-wise, but I saw a post from Adam Schefter, Mike McCarthy, and Aaron Rodgers saying that they speak weekly every couple of days, and that the conversations have been similar conversations that they've had over the years. Why does this? What's the hold up here?
I really don't know what it is. I mean, I just think part of it is Aaron Rodgers doesn't like to do things in the normal way. He's going to march to the beat of his own drum, and that's well documented in his time.
Yeah.
They have to, because otherwise you're going with Mason Rudolph or Will Howard. And, you look at the rest of this team, like, Metcalf, you got Pittman, maybe Roman Wilson has a breakout year.
Yeah.
The running game, you went out and brought in Rico Dowdle. You're not doing that to run with Mason Rudolph, with all due respect. Like, good backup quarterback. I would bet a good chunk of money that Aaron Rodgers will start week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers or be on the roster. He could get hurt. Those things happen. But it's going to happen. It's too easy. There's no quarterback, in my opinion, that they're going to take here, in the draft. Maybe they like Simpson and he slides or something like that. Some people have him as QB1. Could be clickbait. But
I think there's just too much linking them together. That if he wants to keep playing, which I think he does, and I think last year he showed, despite not being MVP Aaron Rodgers, he's still an NFL quarterback. He can still get the job done. I just think it's a lock, and they're just taking their time, maybe waiting to see what the numbers look like. There's always that second wave of free agency. There's going to be cuts coming up here before July 1st, things like that. Maybe waiting to see what the contract will look like, because at this point, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is doing it for the money. And, maybe he'll want to squeeze every cent he can from the Steelers. But at this point, he wants to win football games, I would think, do the best thing they can do. And, who knows, pick up some teams. Like maybe there's some cuts, maybe things happen and it's going to affect the financials. But I think he's going to end up there.
Yeah. I was just seeing in Cleveland again, they just can't, this Deshaun Watson thing, it'll never go away. So owner Jimmy Haslam said that he thinks that Deshaun Watson will have a great chance and a fresh start with Todd Monken.
I mean, maybe he's right. I don't know. Why did you go there and spend capital on 2 draft picks? Dylan Gabriel was a day 2 pick. Shedeur Sanders, as much as he's going to be good or bad, he's a distraction just because of the name. Followed up by some of the things he does and says, doesn't help. And then you have your owner talking about, well, we're going to give this guy an opportunity, who, yes, when he played 7 years ago, he was an unbelievable talent, but he's dropped off a little bit. There's been injuries that have kept him out. There's been off-field stuff, which we could talk about that all day, but we'll leave that to the side right now. He's had injuries. He hasn't played for a while. It's just crazy. I mean, if I was taking over the head coaching job with the Cleveland Browns, I'd say, like, we've seen teams move on from quarterbacks. You saw the Broncos do it with Russell Wilson. The Dolphins just did it with Tua. Like, I don't know what the dead cap numbers would be, but you could get around it and bring someone in and maybe roll with Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel. But don't talk.
The Browns will pay Watson $46 million this year. It was supposed to be 80.7 after this was before the restructuring of his contract. So there's $46 million still. And this is a guy, he's played 19 games since the Browns traded 3 first-round picks and then gave him the fully guaranteed $230 million.
Crazy.
Is this the worst contract in sports history or just NFL history?
I think so. I mean, like we always talk about like the Rick DiPietro is getting paid, but it's not a huge number.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson north of $40 million for nothing. I think it'd be the worst one. And there's a reason no other team has done fully guaranteed. They don't want to set that precedent. They were probably ticked off at the Browns for doing that because Lamar Jackson was the next one up, and that kind of put a bit of a delay in his deal. And there was talk maybe Atlanta would be trying to acquire him. But yeah, I would say that's probably, I mean, there's other bad deals. I remember Albert Hainsworth got paid a huge amount and did nothing. And geez, JC Jackson went to the Chargers and played half a year and was terrible. There's been tons of those in every sport, but you think of the circumstances around it, not only performance, but off the field and the controversy that he brought along with him. I would say, worst contract ever.
Cody says Anthony Rendon's contract with with LA.
Yeah.
That was really bad when he came over from Washington.
What's the baseball annual one? The name slips my mind.
Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, that was those. But that one, like, it's just kind of fun at this point.
Yeah,
it's not hurting them.
I think it's only like $1.5 million or something.
Yeah. Like league min.
I always, when I first started in TV, Conman, we had a thing called a feed called SNS, Sports News Satellite.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you ever.
It's New York, right?
Yeah, it was out of New York.
Yeah.
But what happened was it would be 2 channels of split audio. So they had the natural sound of the broadcasters, and then it was a guy that was editing in New York, and he would say, "This is Bobby Bonilla. It's a single to right, and so-and-so scores," just to help whoever was subscribing to this service.
Yeah.
Well, this one announcer in New York, he just kept giving it to Bobby Bonilla on this split channel because Bobby Bonilla used to put toilet paper in his ears and plug his ears because the fans were booing him so bad. And this guy would say, "They're Bobby Bonilla," and he kept saying it louder. "Can you hear me, Bobby?" And it was just, I don't know. I always think of that when we speak about baseball and Bobby Bonilla. But yeah, there's some bad ones. Like even like we got Triple C says, well, I mean, Campbell, and you can imagine the other contracts around here. that are being brought up on our text line right now. Certain defensemen.
Low-hanging fruit.
It is. Those are nothing compared to Rendon and Watson. They're nothing.
I just looked like Chris Davis, Baltimore.
Okay, yeah,
7 years, 161 million.
Yeah.
Pujols even 10 years, 240 with the
but
Angels.
He was still Albert Pujols was a player.
Yeah. But I mean, 10 years at 240 mil.
Well, there was
they released him before.
A-Rod in Texas.
Yeah.
Because he was 360 or something like that.
Was a crazy one.
Wow. I remember the owner of Texas. What's his name? He's owned the Stars too. But anyway, he said, how about I just give you the team and you can give me your contract?
Yeah.
Because it's probably worth about the same right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the 360, invest it in whatever. 833-401-1440. I was looking too, just with NFL news, Dolphins GM John Sullivan saying that I'm not shopping Devon Achane. And everyone thinks that they can get him for a song.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's nothing left there.
No, I mean, I think keeping him is just stupid because he's going to be taking so many bumps on that offense. Obviously, I just want to bring it up here. His cap hit is super low, right? Like he's not making that much money. He's on his rookie deal. You could franchise him and keep him for another year after this season. But if I'm Devon Achane, I'm trying everything I can get out of there.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be saying, let's work on a new deal if I have to come here and be the focal point of the offense. That being said, Duke and I have talked about on Fantasy Frenzy. Like if you're the Miami Dolphins, right now there's not much. But what if you looked at Keenan Allen for a year or Stephon Diggs? Yeah, they're not long-term players, but could they come in and contribute and give you, good options for 1 year? Yeah, I think so. You could build this offense up and help him out. But they have to do something. Like they cannot let him be the only guy and force feed him 25 carries a night where he's just taking hits. He's such a good football player. And then on the flip side, if you are trying to make that deal, what would you give up for him? And could the Dolphins use those? Like he's young, he's explosive.
Like you know what you have here.
Yeah.
So
and he's going to want a contract, and I'm sure he's going to want. You just saw what Kenneth Walker got, $15 million. He's not a Super Bowl MVP. But I think a lot of people would take him over Walker in a second.
I think he's getting more than Walker.
Yeah, 100%. So, he's a game breaker for sure. And I guess that's probably a good thing. But for the Miami Dolphins, like start spending some money. I know you have all that dead cap space from Tua, but you gotta put some other options out there for that team to work with.
Hey, day one of our Fantasy Frenzy baseball draft.
It's happening.
How
you doing?
It's day one.
Day
Come
in.
on now.
Well, hey,
some guy was giving me the gears earlier this morning. Johnny Cat.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Everything's fine. MTR, I'm worried about his team. Doesn't he?
He's got a good roster.
He's weak at best. I don't know where are you guys at?
Does he have Skeens? Did he avoid that masterclass?
No, I don't know who took Skeens.
Could you imagine if that counted? Ooh.
If it would have counted, yeah. Well, in our other leagues, it counted. So
and. I mean, if you had any Pittsburgh pitcher that game, like I think one of the other guys was like 24 and 17 ERA. One game, plenty of ball to be played. But,
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. It's been nice to have, and especially just like driving home after.
Yeah.
We got the games on 1440.
Oh,
it's been so nice.
It has been. The Jays was weird last night. I mean, you think about it, Colorado was the worst team in baseball last year, and it wasn't even close. And they come in and they lost 3 very close games in Miami. To start the season, they could have won 2 of those games, and the Jays could have lost 2 to the Athletics too.
Oh yeah,
you're extras, right? So, but I mean, when Colorado just got the bats going, and then I kind of felt for Tyler Heineman there in the 8th and 9th. I don't know, he gave up a few, but
not great.
No, I'm surprised. And there were no home runs though, really, off him. Were there? No, there was one. Was there one?
Was there? I don't know. I mean, at that
I
point,
think
kind
that
of
Johnson maybe hit one, but a lot of them were just hard hit.
Got to a point where I was like, do I want to watch this or play
off.
with my sons?
I turned it off. It doesn't make sense.
I felt bad for Ponce though, like to go in that fashion. How many games is Louis Farland going to play this year?
Wow.
He's played 3 or 4 now, right?
I mean, he's pitched in 3, but they got to sit him tonight. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with Brandon Little. I mean, they got to get some guys back here. Savage, they got to get back.
That's the key, though. They do have these guys. Savage is going to pitch a sim game on Friday.
Yimi Garcia is close. So there's him. And then they got, Barrios and Bieber's still,
who knows,
another probably 6 weeks away.
Have you seen that? Like an injury like Ponce there, whose brother-in-law is George Kittle of the Niners. Found that out yesterday.
Yeah, because he had a posting.
Yeah, just married his sister.
Like he fell off the mound about an inning earlier, eh? Did you see that?
No.
Yeah, so he just actually lost his footing and he fell.
That's
and
interesting.
I don't know if that had anything to do with the second time where he was running to first, but the way he was running to first base to get the ball, and then maybe he thought he was going to have to go to first.
Yeah.
It was in a weird spot, the ball. But it looked like he'd never fielded a ball before in his life.
Kind of looked awkward, yeah. We kind of missed it when it happened live. We just looked up and saw him on the ground and the carts and just the way he was reacting. I'm no doctor, but like, something's wrong. He's not crying in pain or anything. So I kind of thought like we've heard ACL, MCLs, or
I thought it was like Achilles to start with.
Oh, that would be bad too.
Yeah. Just the way he went down.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
Just on the topic of, plays like that, it's like Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Start the conversation with him and
there you go.
Bring it all around.
MTR just even said, yep, Ponce is Kittle's brother-in-law. George was in attendance last night. If any Niner goes near your players, they drop like flies. Maybe it's a curse.
From that plant. That's
so
right
MTR,
by the practice
get
field.
your guys away from the Jays, man.
George Kittle is literally like radiating that power waves or whatever it is that the conspiracy theory has.
Terrible. What's coming up, Con Man, on the Jason Gregor Show?
Gregor Show? Well, we're trying to get someone down from Seattle. I know you guys had JT on earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We will have McCarthy, Struddy, Derek Van Dies. TR is going to join us for the hour. Spec, Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. And then I think we're going to get Paul Sir on as well. Talk to March Madness. How's Cam and Eggs going?
It's great. Yeah, well, he was cracking eggs today.
Oh, really?
And a sound effect. Apparently, you can get these sound effects on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Tater's a magician when it comes to the sound effects.
Yeah, exactly.
Which voice does he use?
I don't know.
He's had a few good ones.
I think he called me Bev at the end. I don't know.
That'll happen. There was one time during the summer I was hosting, and after it finished, it went to like 8 seconds of just gibberish pig Latin stuff.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to get, but it's great content.
Good stuff, Conman. Have 2 great shows today.
Thank you.
Text 833-401-1440. Kyle texting, did anyone hear anything about Cale Makar leaving the game yesterday? Yeah, he was on the bench, reaching for his shoulder, left the game. There was going to be more of testing done today, but nothing that I've heard about anything as far as any injury yet this morning. When we come back, we'll get to more of your text, 833-401-1440. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne, Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440 AM Radio. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, presented by Sports Select.
Booster Juice is going crazy for hazelnuts.
No, not crazy. Nuts.
Booster Juice is going bananas for hazelnuts.
I mean, there are bananas in smoothies, but that's not the point.
Banana juice is booster for hazelnuts.
What? Just stop.
Booster Juice is going nuts for hazelnut. Introducing the Nutty Monkey Smoothie, Holy Hazelnut Acai Bowl, and Nutty Booster Ball, all made with rich, creamy hazelnut spread. Try them today, only at Booster Juice. Canadian-born, blending since 1999.
Remember 2025? That's so last year. But seriously, St. Albert Dodge needs to clear some 2025 models off the lot to make room for new inventory. So they're having a huge clear out of all the remaining new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Saharas. The Sahara package is the best seller, so they have a great selection to choose from and priced from as low as $59.9. I don't have to tell you, these are going to go fast. So get there before they are gone. Just head up the trail and see how easy it is to do business at St. Albert Dodge.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Summer, it's coming. An unstoppable force that will turn your home into the Sweatbox.
Don't live in a summer blockbuster. Pro Solutions is your one-call solves-it-all expert for AC repairs, tune-ups, and new installations. With fast appointments and flexible financing, we'll make sure your home story has a comfortable ending. AC season is coming soon, so book today.
Lock in pre-season pricing today.
Visit prosolutionsinc.ca to schedule your service today.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
At Fountain Tire, the savings come in threes. Up to 25% off select tires, a mail-in rebate of up to $100 off a set of 4 select tires, and $50 off a $150 service. We're basically the BLT of savings. Until April 25th. Restrictions apply. Book today.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the #1 heating and cooling company for people who want heating and cooling, because you'll save a bundle by bundling. Then you can use hot, cold. Come on, thermostat, do what you're told. Turn up the heat, turn up the cold, to the vents start pushing out tornadoes. Bundle my furnace with some AC. Gonna get a deal from Legacy. Oh, yeah. Save a bundle when you bundle your new furnace and AC from Legacy today. Plus no payments and no interest for 1 year. That's how you build your legacy. Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Got a car you're ready to part with? Find out what it's worth. Fast, easy, and totally free at Go Auto. We're talking top dollar trade-ins, whether it's a little worn or still rocking that new car smell. Just a few clicks, and boom, you've got your value. Text value to 780-777-7777 to start. That's value to 780 all sevens. Why guess what it's worth? Let Go Auto show you the money.
Ah, yes, Alberta in March. Green beer and slushy roads. Where the only thing worse than the roads is trusting them. If your brakes are squealing louder than a pub on game night, or your shocks feel like they found potholes instead of a pot of gold, it's time to go to Napa Auto Parts. With over 85 locations in Alberta, Napa has the quality parts, tools, equipment, and know-how to keep your ride smooth and feeling confident, more than lucky. Visit your local store today or visit online at napacanada.com. That's Napa Know-How.
River Cree is the place for all your favorite sports. River Cree Resort and Casino, featuring UFC action and boxing live on the big screens at Tap 25, the MVP of sports bars, and in the center bar. Plus, catch all the biggest games, every goal, every slam dunk. River Cree is also home to the Twin Rinks, where rec hockey and community teams come to play. Public skating available. Details at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 1046 in Edmonton. Time to bust down this Oilers game a bit more with the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. When we say we're on the road together, we mean it. From tires, wheels, oil changes to vehicle repairs, visit fountaintire.com to find out more. The Seattle Kraken in town to take on the Edmonton Oilers. And the Oilers, when you look at the standings, I mean, both all Seattle, the Sharks, the Jets, the Kings are all below the cut line. Seattle's got 75 points. The Oilers have 83. So there's some a comfort level there. But, I mean, don't give this team any life tonight. Get on them early, get on them, and stay on them. As, you know, we talked about it earlier in the show, this is a team that doesn't start that well in Seattle. JT Brown mentioned that when we talked to him at 7:20, the analyst for the Kraken. So get on these guys early, stay on them. That's going to be key for the game tonight. I mean, here's an opportunity to win 4 games in a row. You got Chicago coming in on Thursday. So you could put together, and you're stacking up some wins here. And Vegas on Saturday, we did mention one of the key things that will also be happening tonight is the Oilers' power play. It's been 1 for 17 since Leon Draisaitl's been down. But Seattle's penalty kill is terrible. It's at 73.4%. It's second last in the league. Only Vancouver's worse. So the Oilers have an opportunity here to exploit a weaker penalty kill in the NHL. I mean, get the puck to the net quicker, less dilly-dallying around, win a draw, 1 or 2 passes, get the puck on net, take it from there. Connor McDavid scored his 42nd goal of the season on the weekend against Anaheim. He's got a 4-game streak going with 5 goals, 4 assists. As mentioned off the top of the show, 1,206 career points. He passed Vinny Damphousse, another former Oiler, for 52nd all-time. And with 5 more points, he enters the top 50 in league scoring history. Bobby Clark, the former Philadelphia Flyer, is at 50th right now with 1,210 points. 2 guys that have been bringing it here in recent games. Jack Roslovic scored his 20th goal of the season. He's got 3 goals in his last 3 games. It's his second straight and third career 20-goal season, and 22 is his career high. We had an interview with Jack about 3 weeks ago. I said, is this something that you look at? He goes, absolutely. And I go, how do you stack that up against team goals? He says, there's ways to do it. If you score, if you set a goal to score 30 goals, well, it's obviously going to help your team. So that's where he's at, and he's a good bet to match or break his career high. Matt Savoy, incredible the last little bit. He potted his 14th goal of the season. He's got a 3-game goal scoring streak with 6 points over his last 8 games. He's tied for 10th in rookie scoring with 31 points, 11th in rookie goal scoring with 14. And his 14 goals right now are tied with Jason Chimera for the second most goals scored in franchise history in a single season by a rookie born in Alberta. Do you know who has the most, Duke?
Read that to me, the question.
It's a tricky question. His 14 goals are tied with Jason Chimera for the second most goals scored in franchise history in a single season by a rookie born. By a rookie born in Alberta.
Okay, I needed you to say it again because I was just finishing typing something. I was kind of half listening. I was like, that sounded like one of those MLB mid-broadcast game stats where there's 100 different contingencies on it. So an Alberta-born player, rookie playing for the Oilers, single season goals.
Yeah.
I have no idea. Messier.
No.
Oh.
Well, geez, maybe Messi didn't have 22. Now you're really screwed me over, Duke, because you never know. Maybe I got to figure this
Charlie
out.
Huddy.
No.
Randy
Charlie's an Ontario guy.
Oh.
And it's a trick question. Mark Messier, Duke, as an Oiler, had 12 goals.
As a rookie.
Season.
Wow.
It's a trick question.
Okay.
The answer would blow you away, to be honest with you.
Kevin Karius.
No.
Saskatchewan.
I wonder if anyone on our text line has a sniff on it. No, not Mike Comrie, not Smitty. Those are good picks, too. I wonder Smitty, what was Mike Comrie? Mike Comrie, in his rookie year for the Oilers was, because he came at Christmas time, Duke. He came at Christmas, he had 8. Then he had 33 the following year, but he wasn't a rookie. Wasn't technically a rookie. Ryan Smith, that was another one here. Smitty had 48 games played. He had 2 goals. So he didn't qualify as well. It's kind of funny, Duke. I like this one. No idea?
Kevin, do you know the answer?
I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought this was going to be one of those things like, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
You made it up.
Jason Arnott, no, he's not a Alberta-born. Comrie, no. Marshall Mulix is maybe Pisani, no. It is such a trick question.
Give what year?
What year? 2010 or 11?
Oh, I think I do know.
Do you?
Is it Everly?
No.
Hall?
Taylor Hall.
Yeah, because I wanted to say Taylor Hall, but I was like, I better guess Eberle first because I know he's Alberta born. But I'm pretty sure Taylor Hall was born here
Taylor
too.
Hall, 22 goals in 2010, 2011, born in Calgary. Then he moved out, like he played in Windsor. So.
Oh, yeah. That's back-to-back. Well, he was on the first team, obviously, of what was back-to-back Memorial Cups for the Spits.
Yeah. Ebbs, his first year, he had 18 goals. Same year, 2010, 2011.
So is that not also?
What's that?
Does that not also?
He's
qualify?
born in Regina, though.
Oh, I thought he was born in Calgary as well.
I got him born in Regina.
Okay.
Played for the Pats.
Yeah, I knew that, obviously.
What a great question, Duke.
Yeah, way to really put our brains to the test there. And you're right, it was a
Taylor Hall.
It was a trick question.
That was a puck report brought to you by Fountain Tire. Visit fountaintire.com to book your appointment today. Quite a few people. Ebbs was born in Regina. Yeah, Stu Barnes wasn't Ebbs born in Saskatchewan? Cam got it. Shane Doan, hold. Yeah, Cam was the only guy that got it. Taylor Hall. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Roship
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne. At 12 o'clock, it's the Lowdown with Ellen Mitchell. 2 till 6, Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. We got our pregame show with Andrew Walker, Landon Ferraro, and Donnie P., who is second in our National League draft, by the way. Don't know how. Puck drop, Kraken, Oilers, 7:07. Post-game show to follow right here on Sports 1440 AM. Duke, so what happens here? Do we go to Jays at 7 then or something?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think on nights like this, where is the extra hour, I don't think we go to the games. But don't quote me on that. Connor will probably know the answer once he's in here, so stay tuned for more information.
Perfecto. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by All Star Construction. They shape and build Edmonton communities, specializing in underground utilities like power, gas, telecommunications, and street lighting. That is All Star Construction. Hey, thanks everyone for listening this morning. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all the great texts. Thanks for the interaction. We could not do it without you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. We'll bust down the Oilers tomorrow morning when we are back with you at 7 bells. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Game day for the Edmonton Oilers as they take on the Seattle Kraken tonight from Rogers Place. Puck drop coming just after 7 o'clock. Pre-game coverage starting right here at Sports 1440 at 6. Around the rest of the NHL, 9 of the games, nearly all of them with playoff implications. The Bruins host the Dallas Stars, who, according to reports, have come to a 2-year extension agreement with general manager Jim Nill. Buffalo Sabres hosting the Islanders. Montreal in at Tampa. Sens take on the Panthers. Devils head across the river to play the Rangers at MSG. Penguins hosting the Red Wings. Caps up against the Flyers. Hurricanes in Columbus. Jets taking on Chicago Blackhawks from the Windy City. Edmonton Oil Kings back at it tonight for Game 3 of their first-round playoff matchup in Saskatoon to play the Blades. Series currently tied at 1. Puck drop coming at 7 o'clock. And in the Alberta Junior Hockey League playoffs, Game 7 between the Camrose Kodiaks and the Drumheller Dragons from the Badlands. Puck drop 7 o'clock at the Drumheller Memorial Arena. In the association, 7 games tonight, including the Raptors back at it against the Pistons in Detroit. Tip-off scheduled for 6 o'clock. Elsewhere, Orlando hosting Phoenix, Dallas is in Milwaukee, and the Lakers hosting Cleveland. And a full slate of games in the major leagues. Blue Jays continue their series against the Colorado Rockies. First pitch just after 5 o'clock. Max Scherzer making his first start of the 2026 season. Elsewhere, Cubbies hosting Angels, Tampa in Milwaukee. Mets against St. Louis, Seattle hosting the Yankees, and the Baltimore Orioles at home against the Texas Rangers. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports